authentication is only verifying with your PIN input, M-Pesa PIN. That one you cannot forget. That's very convenient. Also, it's very flexible. You can use in one, for example, you can use in this kind of API in so many areas, like you can use for hotels, you can come for printing services, you can just integrate, because this information only is stored in one database, but you can use for different tables to do that. Again, about this kind of platform is a user friendly, because this one anyone can use to work, because you will just interact with it more friendly. So what we do is we are given authorization, meaning Safaricom should know us, who we are. As a developer, I should authenticate myself to Safaricom through this platform where Safaricom will give me my consumer key and a secret key. These keys I will use in my coding to ensure that Safaricom knows the transaction going on here. So I will just go and have a sandbox and extract the code, and then I put it in this format. In this format, as you can see, it will extract your number. You can see I will input your pay till that the amount will go. So generally, this system will look like this. Will look like that. So any person can do this. You can see, you can select what you want to obtain, the price and the quality, and then you can add. This button is to add. Then we can see there is a button for M-Pesa. So when a person enters details, you will pick and enter some details, and you add, you will see the total is given there. So, and the receipt is generated down here. So what we want to do here is we check using the M-Pesa. So when you check about that button of M-Pesa, it will give you this. Now, this one is only thing a cashier will enter. Will enter your phone number, and that amount we saw previously, 14, for example. So after confirmation of that button, at the user end, you will receive kind of a message that says, do you want to pay this amount 14 to that PayPal number about at account? So what is needed only is to confirm with the M-Pesa PIN. This process is very secure because it uses RSA algorithm. This algorithm is kind of very secure about transaction. No one can interfere. I cannot inject some matter code that auto verify your authentication on the other side. You must input your PIN. This one we are targeting restaurants, caves, university caves or student centers, where this kind of mobile is highly used. So what innovators ask is to get a working domain. With this, we should have a working domain that is used to facilitate that. And also systems and monitors with a good speed of at least 3 gigahertz for receiving message and verification of the verification of receipts, because we are serving more customers. Thank you.
Any questions? Yes.
It's very nice presentation. Yeah, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. My question is, how do you handle the risk of M-Pesa? Sometimes M-Pesa doesn't work, especially when you're doing updates.
Yes.
So what is the risk management policy that you
Okay. So that one is availability. So we normally say that normally M-Pesa is almost 24.5 hours per day, 23 point something, because those applications or those like upgrades or technical errors, they usually handle at night. So most of these M-Pesa is very reliable. Safaricom M-Pesa is mostly reliable because it works the best during the daytimes, and uh, in case of anything, they notify people. And because I've said this one is kind of flexible. If I've answered you.
Yeah, go on.
Yes, yeah.
Very nice presentation. My question is, what did you say you're using for password security?
This kind, this Python programming, yeah, it sends this because I've said I will query your line so that you can confirm with your M-Pesa. So all this process is what it works in RSA algorithm. This algorithm works in that it encrypts with, it's like you have been now asked here as a private key. This RSA algorithm works with two keys. So my public key I will use to send you, then you can confirm with your PIN.
I'm specifically interested in point number 6. You're saying about using the 64 password.
Yes.
Like we know, the last thing anyone would go for using is, let's say, encrypting a password with the 64. So is there anything more to that, or are you just leaving it at the 64? Because we know the 64 is very insecure.
No. Here, what we are doing here is standard programming. Safaricom API portal give us the pass key, will concatenate with your PIN here with this code. So there is concatenation that will occur about your stamp. We have something like stamp format. Will concatenate your password and there's something called pass key, which those concatenation will make this one secure. Yes.
During your research, do you have any competitor in the market?
Currently, we are going to this cashless transaction. Of late, we were using cash, but now most people they normally use direct pay bill where they put the pay bill there, then you type in and key in amount and send. But this one is kind of, we are doing that for you. You only just confirm with your PIN.
There is a software company or something, or a tech company. They call the Advanta. Have you checked their system? Is it not the same as yours? Because you only, in there, you only need to order. Then they tell you to enter the password. I don't know if it is different.
So now this one is we are targeting like restaurants or like KFC. This system now is with the cashier. That a person order things there and pay there, and then after this we will generate a receipt as we saw here. You have to see it there. So after this we will simply give receipt.
Okay. And have you approximated how much you need, or you only need the working domain and that's all?
Yes, we have the working domain and the system. The system and monitors with with full speed because we want to handle more customers per time. We don't want to see a system where it delay to receive some messages or kind of that.
So you don't need any money from innovators.
Yeah, so that system
Well,
will cost
approximately
around 70,000.
70,000.
Yes.
Thank you. Let us appreciate him. Next is automated fire extinguisher system.
Good morning. Fires are disastrous, right? Fires are disastrous, right? And they lead to loss of fires, loss of lives and property. I, Morgan Ogachaki, pursuing a course in Diploma in Mechatronic Technology, present to you automated fire extinguishing system. I'll first give you an overview of fire. Fire is categorized in 3 classes. It's Class A, Class B, and Class C. Class A is a result of burning of combustible materials. These materials are materials such as mattresses and others. Class B is caused by as a result of flammable liquids. This flammable liquids includes petroleum. And Class C is a result of electrical current. All these classes are put out in different ways. The way you put out Class A type of fire, you cannot use the same method to put out Class B type of fire. Class A type of fire, you can use pressurized water or carbon fogs. Class B type of fire, you cannot use pressurized water because this flammable liquid is less dense than water. So it will float and the fire will continue burning. So you use carbon fogs. Class C type of fire, you first withdraw the current. After withdrawing the current, then you can use pressurized water or carbon fogs. Now, these are system capabilities. Detect the smoke, which is the early stage of fire. The other thing, it detects gas leaks. One thing with gas leak, in case of a gas leak in this room, you are advised not to switch on the lights because they are production of sparks that lead to a fire outbreak. That's why this system was designed it to detect gas leak and control it. The other thing that this system can do, it can recognize a human being in the room, to warn him. And after it recognizes a human, it will automatically extinguish the fire. It will also automatically communicate with the firefighting departments in case this fire outbreak is huge to be controlled by this system. I'll first take you through a gas leak detection. In case of a gas leak in a room, this system will detect that gas, which is methane, through an LPG, with an aid of an LPG gas detector. After that, this detection, it will cut to the power supply to avoid anyone in the room who might turn the switch on the lights, leading to a fire outbreak. After it cuts off the power, the system will try to recognize if there is a person in the room and want him to leave the room. After the person leaves the room, the system will release the water, because the water will slightly react to the methane gas to slightly neutralize, leading to lower chances of the explosion. The other thing, if there is an explosion and the person has left, the system will switch to carbon dioxide to put out the fire, which is more efficient than pressurized water. In case there is a threat of fire outbreak, through burning of combustible materials which will result in smoke, the smoke sensors fitted in the room will sense the smoke. Then the system, after it senses the smoke, the first thing this system does, it cuts off the power supply. To deal with type C, class C type of fire, which you first withdraw the current. After the current is withdrawn, the system recognizes if there is a person. If there is a person, the system wants the person using the buzzers fitted in the room, the sirens fitted in the room. Then before the person leaves, the system first uses the pressurized water, because pressurized water is less harmful to the human respiratory organ compared to carbon dioxide. After the person leaves, the system will automatically switch to carbon dioxide, which is more efficient than pressurized water. And this system, we have given it an approximate of 20 minutes to deal with the fire. If the situation is not yet handled, the system will communicate with the firefighting departments automatically.
Excuse me. You can remove your mask, I think. The social distance is good from there. I'm getting feedback from those who are following online. Thank you.
Okay. After it detects the person, after this system is unable to put the fire within, if it's unable to put the fire with the range is given of 20 minutes, it will automatically communicate with firefighting departments through GSM module, giving them the correct location coordinates. Here is a simple sketch to show you the way you see the house with this system. Okay, we have there the tanks. We've got here is the carbon dioxide tank, and here is the water tank, and here is where this interteching is done, if there's a person in the room or not. That's the presentation.
Questions to the presenter?
Is it an idea or is something you already implemented?
It's an idea.
Still an idea.
Yeah.
Very good idea. Are you doing it alone or you have a team, a group of team members that you're working with?
I have a group of team members.
How many are you?
We are approximately 15 people.
15 people?
Yeah.
Wow. So what is your target market?
It's a new industry, so this system you can fit in a lot of places, including hotels, schools, industries, hospitals, and the like.
How are you planning to make money out of this?
It has a high promising profits because it's a new industry and there are no competitors. It is
And
very
no
efficient.
competitors? There's nobody who is doing such a thing?
It's fully autonomous.
Okay.
Yeah, because the system we have right now, you only have carbon dioxide tanks outside. They are not they are not automatic.
Okay, good. Anybody else? So, what do you expect from innovators?
Expect funding of this project. Funding expect is for the prototype, but for now, for the actual implementation, the amount is not fixed because it depends with the size of the house. The approximate funding of this project for the prototype is 100,000 because the accessories needed, the electrical, the patenting fee, and the transport.
Transport to where?
To acquire these accessories and electronics.
Any other question? Yes, e-commerce and cafeteria management system by Alan Mutai and Amaka Onana. They are so for those who have not presented, please ensure that your PPT work is USB so that when it's your time to present, you have presented your USB to the IT person there so that you can share them on there.
Good morning, everyone. Yes. My name is Alan Mutai, third year student, Meru University, taking computer technology. And above that, I'm a born again Christian. I'll be presenting it. My colleague can introduce himself.
Good morning. Michael. Thank God for this opportunity to present our project.
So, I'll be presenting it, which is a this is a digital cafeteria management system. I'd like to apologize for slightly a bit more slides than were intended, because we have four softwares in one system, so I really tried to squeeze our best. So this is the customer problem. During these COVID-19 times, there is the risk of COVID contraction, that is via exchange of cash, money. Give me money, I give you change. This is posing a health risk to students. Students have had problems with cumbersome queues that waste their time. Some students are working on the innovations, they want to rush, take their meals and get back to work. Students are unable to pay for their meals and they lack an elaborate mobile payment system for their meals. Even staff, when I say students, I also mean the staff. This underutilized potential of the cafeteria. I believe the cafeteria can become more business oriented than they currently are. The cafeterias have lost popularity among students. Very few students are using the cafeteria because of these inconveniences of long queues and the likes. These are the problems, the customer problems, and the others that the customers face. So before I go further, I would like to illustrate this so that when I go through the slides, everyone can get. EATS is a system. It has 4 main applications. As you can see, we have the EATS user. That one is the staff and the students who use this to buy food. EATS cafeteria, cafeteria management. This is a software where the cafeteria management will upload the meals. EATS cashier this will allow the cashier to verify the purchase of meals and allocate receipts. And the real-time stock control system is for the university management where they can monitor stock, items, everything. So all those 4 systems make up EATS. So what is the solution? To migrate core functions of the cafeteria to the smartphones, because smartphones are powerful. Instead of long queues, buy from the smartphones. Instead of turtle-based service delivery at the cashier, where you ask things like, "Nimebaki ngapi? How much can I buy?" Changing all that stuff. Just select your meals from your smartphone and pay. Instead of always individually fetching the meals, you can order and have them delivered to you. Next, to offload the cashier of unnecessary cumbersome tasks. For example, only handling cash money. You can also accept mobile money, mobile payment. Instead of typing in every client's request, this is unachukua nini, ugali, ngapi, cabbage. Students know this. Instead of all that, just the client will just pre-order from their phone. Instead of manually tracking item sales, I know we have all had Zimisha, so that you can stop selling or you've been sold meat. Then you go to the cashier, there is no meat. Instead of all that, we have a comprehensive data analysis for the cashier. Finally, provide the cafeteria management with a comprehensive report. It's a cafeteria status report, always available on their smartphone. This report is available on desktop, on web, and on their smartphone. They can view it from anywhere. Even walking around, you can view how the cafeteria is going on. And real-time stock control system for their phones and PC. So accountability is a key issue in the EATS cafeteria management system. So it's the opportunity. It allows students and staff to purchase meals via their smartphones. It allows them to see the meals that are currently available and what quantity they might like to pick at a fair convenience price. Obviously, when you improve the convenience of something, there's a charge that comes with it. It allows the students and staff to order meals at an affordable delivery fee. And it will also create employment for the ongoing students who will make, who will deliver. It allows students to store money in the EATS wallet. This saves them from starvation during bankruptcy. I'm sure you heard in the news students saying that the students are eating rats, students are eating all these embarrassing things. If students could be able to save money to take meals in the future, EATS is the perfect solution. EATS has algorithms that generate a system sales report in real time. We will demonstrate that in a video. The cafeteria is easily has the ability to directly monitor the sales and income made from every meal. This aids in decision making. They can decide, let's introduce this meal, very many people like it. So this improves the sales and small income. It also has algorithms that monitor monetary operations of the system and keep records. This gives the university management confidence in an elaborate stock control system. So this will make it popular among the universities will be happy to adopt the system. So these are photos of the product, screenshots from various applications. So what is the operations model? This is just a sketch I'm going to explain. You can see the cafeteria manager is where everything begins. This is where the uploads will be made. The stock control system will monitor. The cafeteria manager, that will be saved to the stock control. Then procured items that have been procured will also be saved to the stock control. Students and staff, whatever students buy and the clients buy, also the stock control will get that data. Checked out receipts of that data will go to the stock control because the stock control is monitoring the entire system. Cafeteria manager will communicate to the students, staff application, the uploads, students and staff will be able to see. Then the cashier is the bridge between the meals and the receipts on the for the students. So basically, this is it. That is what I was explaining. The cafeteria manager will do that. This system monitors the depletion rate, so they can observe that chapatis end quite fast, so they can add more chapatis, and still the database will accommodate that. Students here, you can see they will buy meals, and they will be given a QR code or a unique key. In case the screen is cracked and you cannot scan the QR, you have a unique key. Then the stock control system, this will, as you can see, there is a graph there. This graph monitors the sale of every item as they deplete, as they increase. There is a chart above that graph which will monitor if there was addition or subtraction of meals in the system, just to regulate, to give confidence in the system, that in case someone adds meals that are not accounted for, this system will track. It has a green and red indicator to show that someone added something, someone deducted something. Yeah, basically it calculates, just calculates. The cashier here, this one scans receipts or takes in the code. We'll show you that in a while. So innovation, testing, and traction. The prototyping results, in the next slide, I will show a video for that, a brief video for the prototyping results of the system working. The piloting results, it is ready for piloting. We are hoping to find no bugs even after mass usage. Of course, we've been testing with our friends. So after mass usage, we hope for no bugs. And in the case of any, we are ready to handle them. And after successful piloting, we hope to launch the system in all institutions of higher learning. This is a big income opportunity. So my friend can take you through the video.
So this is a video of the cashier uploading, or the manager uploading mails. So you can see he's adding wali and giving it a price. This is like when he's uploading a new item. But this procedure doesn't have to be repeated every time because there is an option where they can just edit the values for existing items each day. So after uploading that, and the next video, you can see that the wali will reflect in real time that it has been added. It was not there before, now it's there. The other videos I'm not sure. Here. Yeah. So these is when the user is making a purchase, ordering like it's a bill and price. Then it proceeds to the cart and pays by the wallet. Then you'll be the user will be given will be sent a push notification to tell him or her that the order has been received, and the other video was fast. This is to show when the cashier is scanning the QR code provided to the user. This is the receipt is auto-generated. Immediately the cashier scans the QR code from the user's phone. The receipt is generated in real time. And this is an example of the receipt. I'm not sure it's good. Yes. So those are just a short demo of what to expect.
Yes, so that is it's at work. As you have seen, it takes split seconds to scan and give a receipt. It takes just 5 seconds, you're out of there. That's how fast it is. So what is the competitor analysis? We have done some research. We have found out that other than the method that we are using here, universities are using the method of meal cards that allow students to have money that inside the card that they can use for quite a while. That is the but unfortunately for this method, it's not improving the current system because it's using the current system to have their meal cards used. In further research, in July of 2020 and February of 2020, there was no system running in our universities that runs like ITS. We talked with students, we did this research, no university was using a system similar to that. So what's the competitive advantage? There are a lot. Basically, this is a summary. It offers job opportunities to students who enroll in meal delivery services. By getting rid of over-counter cash exchange and queuing in handle the risk of COVID-19, it improves monetary accountability in its stock control system. Yes, I have talked a lot about that. It will allow the cafeteria to extend the boundary of service delivery. This is where I say that you can buy meals even from Chiru, from anywhere you prefer, as long as you can afford the delivery fee. In existing systems, a cashier can only serve 60 to 55 students an hour. As you can see, it does this in 700 students an hour. So how fast the receipt was given out. Instantaneous service delivery at the cashier, yes, 2 to 5 seconds to serve a student. Each wallet allows you to save money for meals in the future in case of bankruptcy. That's an added advantage also. It allows students to order cafeteria meals even from outside the school and have them delivered. It allows the cafeteria management to easily introduce new meals. This is a very good feature. In case there's a graduation, they can introduce even snacks. Yes, people will see their snacks and people will buy. With each, every party involved wins. Commercialization milestones, we hope it has been designed to run concurrently with any system. So we hope it will start at that. Then later, universities can become leaders in food delivery in the country because universities are many. Also, technical institutes, there are many. You can also incorporate mobile banking. This is where people can pay by, let's say, their equity account, all these different accounts. Yeah. And finally, hope to make it the primary cafeteria management system across the country because it outdoes the current systems by far. So the risk and mitigation measures. The risk that we run to is M-Pesa downtimes. Where we were still developing this system, and I remember there's a day M-Pesa was down, and then we thought, what happens when M-Pesa is down? So we came up with a backup system that works like the pre-existing system, because the pre-existing system is everything manual. So we made a system like that. I don't have it in the screenshots, but I have the application, it has that system. This is designed to allow clients to order meals in case M-Pesa is out of service. Yes. In case of someone is using also the dumb phones, that system will work for them. Its data is very secure. It uses Google databases, commonly known as Firebase, and also M-Pesa, Safaricom databases for M-Pesa. Therefore, I'll be impressed with a hacker who can hack Google and a hacker who can hack M-Pesa. Mode of payment is M-Pesa, which is also regulated for the safety of the money of the users. So this is the innovators ask. We request the Innovation Center for the opportunity to pilot it at Meru University. For the financing, we have worked tirelessly to come up with it. To prove this, we have made it available for Android, for web, and also for PC. Yes, and they are there. Yet, with all this determination, we need financial support to enable us to develop these programs for the iOS platforms. Like we said, eventually the iOS platform will enable it to access a ready market of private universities. I have talked to students, for example, Strathmore University. A lot of them, they prefer using smartphones, iPhones, and these are the kind of students who would like meals to be delivered to them. That's a ready market that is there. If this platform can get there, it's a big advantage to everyone, literally. Therefore, keeping in mind that this is an advanced system that has 4 different softwares, we are about to introduce the 5th one that will manage ordering of meals. we will require at least or a minimum of 2 MacBooks and 2 iPhones to develop this. One developer cannot come up with such a system. It is advanced, as you have seen. So that is the proposed budget. Unfortunately, MacBooks and iPhones are not cheap. So that is the total budget. This is our business model. Students will load the wallet. Unfortunately, this is not the final one, but we load the wallet. There will be a charge for that, and there will also be a charge for ordering new services. This money will go to the university. But for every transaction that the student does, we charge the institution. That will be ours. Then the institution can keep the money from loading the wallet, and the money from the delivery. They will manage the delivery. We will not manage that for them because it's their students. So finally, that is our contact information, and we welcome any questions from our fellow innovators.
Yes, any questions to the innovators?
Okay. Yes. What are your plans on budget day?
Yes, February this year, I think it's 29, we went ahead to look for a patent, and we were given a copyright. I don't know if they said they give copyrights for software, so they gave us a copyright for it, and they verified that there's no other system running like it's in the entire country.
So you already have a copyright?
Yes.
Very good. How many are you working in this project?
We are just the two of us and our Father God.
Okay. Interesting.
What is your business continues plan?
Yes, the
Like
business.
after when you get all the funding
Yes.
and you have implemented the system,
Yes.
what do you plan to do on the long term and short term?
Yes, good question. In the long term, we hope that every institution in the country, that is universities, institutions of higher learning, colleges, and where students are using smartphones, basically, they will adopt this system. And the market is that, the idea is that we make money at a transaction-based level, not a one-time sale level, transaction-based. So the system is expected to grow in terms of popularity and in terms of figures. So the funding, the money will regenerate themselves with a lifespan of eternity.
So, what stake are you offering to your investors?
Yes. We have 3 income making streams. The first stream is loading the wallet. This is luxuries, and luxuries they get charged. Use the what do you call it? Delivery services, and also the transaction based. So we are sharing. We take the transaction based, that is for it and our partners, those who invest in us. Then delivery services, that is for the students who enroll for delivery, and the university. They will agree how they will pay the students from the money, because money will be made out of it. And the loading of wallet, that money goes to the university. It's a goodie for them, so that they can adopt the system. It makes them money and it improves their life.
What I meant is, what's in it for you with that? Because you say it's a lifetime.
Yes.
So what's in it for you in that? Because I thought you mentioned about it's something that you don't want to give it away. You want to be part of it. What's in it for you? Will you be taking 10%? What?
Yes, the transaction cost of every meal. Yes. No, not item, not cabbage, ugali like that. No. You bought lunch, that I get a bulk for your transaction.
That's a good one. There's a question there.
Okay, if I may ask,
Yes.
according to the understanding of what I heard you say, so it's like a number one generation of income is through maybe let's say the percentage cost, or maybe it's like you are taxing them for using your service, right?
Yes.
So if I use your system to order meals, so there is a percentage you are taking for you or maybe the company is taking in, and then there's a percentage for the one delivery.
Yes.
And then there's also you have talked of the wallet part, the part of the wallet. So it's even if I'm not transacting, it's like I can still keep money with you or something.
Yes, for future purchases. Yes.
For future purchases.
Yes.
And so, is there anything in return you get when I put money in your wallet? Am I charged for that? Like, will I pay maybe, let's say, like in the banks we have interest, right? So is there an interest rate for charge for me, or maybe gaining from either way? Am I gaining, or are you gaining from me keeping money with you? And then the third question is, as an investor, so aligned to what he was asking, what specifically can I invest in? For example, I want to be a shareholder in your, let's say to sharehold in your company. So if I have, for example, decided to invest 500,000 in that, now how will we calculate my portion in that? That's my question.
Yes, let me begin the second question. When you use the wallet, that's a good question. I hope no one would ask it, but better. When you use the wallet, there will be a charge for the university. The university will decide, because universities are different. Some universities are a bit expensive, some are cheaper. They will decide, we'll take 5 bob from this student for loading 1,000 shillings to the EATS wallet. That one we won't tamper with that. But for every transaction, let's say you buy a meal worth 30 shillings. From the EATS wallet, we deduct 31 and register that as a transaction. Therefore, at the end of, let's say, the month, we will tell the university, you have 3,000 of our transactions. That is 3,000 shillings.
So basically, it's like when you give the system, let's assume at the mess or somewhere.
Yes.
The school does it. If I purchase, for example, the product, I want that system in my organization or something. Let's say I own this university and I own that system. Now, does that mean I completely own it and I can only give you the agreement, maybe according to the deal we agreed, your percentage is this as we use it, or you still own it while being used in the university now? What is the essence?
Yes.
You still have the control of the system if I choose to use it here.
We already have the copyright, so
Okay.
the system will not belong to you.
Okay.
It will be more like a partnership thing.
It's a partnership, actually.
That's clear now.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
In your presentation, I did not see if there is a place where you put where a client will confirm what he has ordered or she has ordered. Because sometimes you can click on something and processing it's gonna crack a screen so you can do something different. So I did not see that part of confirming what I have ordered.
Yes. We have that. It's good you brought it up. You can see in this slide here, it is not clear, but that slide there shows my orders for Muswan. That is the students' orders. All the orders they have made. Muswan is the name of the institution. That is just mock data. It will be Meru University, Kemu, or whatever university. It shows all the transactions, complete orders that you have made. Also, apart from that, you also have another one called transaction history. It shows transaction history. The database also saves this information with the M-Pesa, what do you call it? This is M-Pesa API. You see the code 0A something, that code from M-Pesa is saved with this receipt. So in the database, in case there's even an error, you can retrieve that message, and that message can be used to retrieve your receipt. Yes.
Actually, my question is,
Yes.
you see, for the case of M-Pesa, yes, you can confirm that you have sent money,
Yes.
but then after the money has gone, you guys that this name is not the one I was sending money to.
Okay.
So
Now-
how can you reverse the transaction?
Okay, you do not put the till number, the pay bill manually. It's wallet. Okay, I have it in my phone. Don't know how I can present it. So there is a place where you just type in your number. That means that even if you don't have cash money in your M-Pesa account, you can use someone else's number. Then it tells you to top up, input the amount you want to top up. Then you send. Then there's a button to send, like Kipyegon's project. It's what do you call it? An SDK push to your phone.
It's automatic.
So it's automatic. You just input the number
You will only put
and the
PIN.
amount, then it sends you an SDK push, and you enter your PIN. Yes.
Another question is, I did not see the presentation where the delivery guys will be registering.
Okay, we are working on that application. So far we have 4. Those are the essentials for now. But for the deliveries, it's still under...
You're creating a system that where you can, the student can contact, can talk with the guy who is delivering the meal. That one is still in progress, but delivering the meal still, it's communication. They can communicate via WhatsApp or any other means, but we are developing a system for that.
Yes,
For
we can.
yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you provided for USSD functionality for cases where I don't have a smartphone and I want to use your platform, and maybe there is no internet and I still need to use your platform?
Mhm.
And how have you organized your business model?
Okay, the challenge with USSD is that it's not real time. But when you are using the application, you can see when the meal is out of stock, because some meals are very competitive.
Yes, you're telling me USSD is not real time?
Yes, it's not real time. Like, you cannot dial *544#, then you see the prices changing for
The quantities.
yes. But the
Okay, then who are you creating this solution for?
okay, I was going there. The people with dumb phones can go to the cashier, and the cashier can select the meals manually, and they pay via cash or M-Pesa directly.
Yes, the system allows direct payment of M-Pesa or cash for people with dumb phones. We have that part for them. And in case M-Pesa is not working, the system also allows the cashier to get the meals from the student direct, the way that the normal one does. But we're also improving that. We want the students to select the meals they want, then we generate a QR, so they go show the QR and pay manually.
So where is the money in?
Oh, the
No,
money,
this
the
solution.
business, yes. We have this image here. Yes, this one here. The student will load the wallet. There will be a charge for that. The EATS wallet, there will be a charge for that. And also in our staff, the student or staff who also wants the meal to be delivered, there will also be a charge for that. Then ours will be to charge ours now. As the EATS and partners, we will charge that on a transaction-based level. You bought a lunch using our platform, we charge you just a shilling. You bought supper with our platform, we just charge you a shilling. Where the university comes in and makes some money is from the deliveries and the loading of wallets, because that money goes to the university.
How are you going to make money yourself?
Yes, we get every transaction. This, if they all bought from our system, one transaction, that is one bob for EATS. Yes, it's transaction based.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
You talked about the wallet. You know what I mean? Okay, when I see wallet, or I hear about wallet, I see money.
Yeah.
How will I know that my funds in the wallet are safe? I'm talking about the security.
Yes. This money goes to the university. University pay bill. That's a bank account. We understand that people might have the issue. What if they close the company and go with our money? That is why in the business model we decided all the money, let it go to the university. Us, we will charge the university. We just track the number of transactions charge the university, because the university will protect the students. The university will not allow us to con from the students. The university will not con the students. Therefore, the money will be safe.
Yeah. What about you say the wallet?
Yes.
Is it a must for you to have the address, the wallet address?
The what?
Address wallet, so you can transfer the funds. Okay. What I'm saying, can you transfer funds from one account to another?
Okay, we are yet to implement that because it's not like a necessity for now.
Can I use my accounts to pay for someone else?
Yes,
Yes.
in direct payment, you
Yes.
can do that. But in the EATS wallet, we'll have to implement whereby our wallet can transfer money to someone else's. But on a ground level, you can pay someone, then you buy meals using his wallet.
And then you can even share the screenshots of the QR code if someone else is at the cafeteria and you're not there, and you have already ordered when you're somewhere else.
Online transfer of money from the wallet, we have not done that. But from the direct payment, because it is difficult for you weke pesa bahati mbaya, because the system decides where you're going to send the money to Meru University, so you cannot make any error. So the money that's in the wallet, you deliberately decided to send 500 shillings to the wallet. So in the case that you want another student to buy with the wallet, it is very easy. Just
You
buy
can
the meals, share the QR code.
Okay, another one. How will I know that my information is safe in the system?
Okay, the authentication we have used in the system is you can either log in via your email. Mostly we are using the Google email authentication. So the databases are from Google. Your email is from Google, so there's no privacy.
No. What about you? I'm using my account.
Yeah.
In the EATS. From what I know, most systems are vulnerable to attacks.
Yes.
What if an attacker attack the system and steal my information?
Okay, we do not host the system. The system is hosted by Google Firebase, and we have placed secure measures in the Firebase rules. No authenticated user can tamper with the information.
It's not, yes, not basically a question, but part of as a suggestion also.
Yeah.
My concern was in the part of revenue generation, because unless there is revenue generation, then we can't really, as an investor, I can't invest. So my idea was what if you charge in the basis of a percentage? Because if I order a meal worth 200 shillings and another one orders a meal worth 50 shillings, and the transaction cost for all of us is 1 bob, then somebody is robbing someone and somebody is using someone. So I prefer to suggest that it could be on a percentage basis, so that there can be a uniform charge for everyone.
Yes.
Because 1 shilling also could be minimum,
Yes.
considering if 5 people pay 1,000 for a meal.
Yeah.
It's not like when 5 people pays 50 shillings for a meal. So then to generate more revenue, you need to come up with a structure where you have a specific percentage you gain as you, maybe the partners, and maybe the university and the service providers, maybe the ones you see.
Yes, we are working on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What is this that is changing that makes your system to serve 700 students contrary to the current serving? I don't know, you give a data of
65 on a very hardworking cashier.
Now give me, what is that is changing in your system?
So I will briefly play a scenario. I'm the cashier, you come. Now let's time from there. You ask me, nini iko? Or you ask me, ugali iko?
Oh, I'm answers.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
There was some parts he was asking
Yes.
about the security part. So are you guys using double factor authentication, or are you using single sign-on?
What?
I don't come on.
SSO, the one for Google, the one
Yes.
Are you Is there double-factor authentication?
Okay, when you're purchasing a meal, okay, first of all, if you sign into the application, you may choose to use your Google email account. You cannot use someone else's email account. So that's already an authentication because your phone is registered to that Google account. Then, when you want to purchase a meal, in case your phone gets lost and someone else takes it, nah, you have no passwords. So when you want to order a meal via wallet, the system will ask you for a PIN to proceed. The PIN is not cached in the phone, it's from the database.
So you're saying in case I lose my phone,
Yes.
so is the PIN going to my phone or to my email?
Okay, the PIN will be sent, okay, if you acquire another phone, the PIN will be sent to you, or in case you want to reset your PIN, it will be just sent to you via email or via
Are you
push
asking
notification.
for the sign-in?
Yeah, actually, I was
Security.
asking just for the sign-in.
For the sign-in, yes.
Yeah, just
For the sign-in, on the lock screen of its, the sign-in, there is an option, sign in with. There, instead of email or this, we have the option of the account that is already signed in the phone.
Okay.
That is the one we are using, basically.
So if you provide your own
Tap
email,
that one, you're inside the system.
So there is only one option for sign-in.
no, there are three for now.
What are the other two options?
Okay, email and password. Then we have Google sign in and Facebook sign in.
Okay, so I'm asking about that one for email.
Email and password. Yes.
I'm asking about it. Is there two-factor authentication that one for email and password? Because you have someone's email and password, I can get to log in.
Yes.
Is there two-factor authentication for that?
The second factor, you cannot make purchases using someone else's phone
Phone number.
because when you go to checkout, I think it means that when you go to checkout, the system will ask you for another PIN for you to use your wallet.
The SDK.
Not the SDK. The money is already in the wallet.
Okay.
So if you prefer to use M-Pesa direct, that's another authentication because you'll have to use your M-Pesa PIN. It will send you a push notification. Not a push notification, an SDK push where you will enter your M-Pesa PIN to proceed. So your data is safe.
Okay.
My question is just simple.
Yes.
Is it online based or front-end?
What?
Say the logging in and everything that is supposed to be done by any of the users is going to be adjusting any food, any item. Do you have to use bundles or you just?
Yeah, the entire system works online. Without internet, the entire system.
Yes, like even when you sign in with your phone for the first time, you have to be online.
So
Jeez.
someone who cannot access
Internet services.
yes, cannot use the
Okay.
It's just like WhatsApp. If you're not online, you can't send a message, you can't receive
Yes.
a photo. You need to
The-
be online.
Yes.
But the cashier level, you don't need to be online for the cashier. In case the internet is not working, let's say in the entire school, something happened, no one has internet, the cashier has a manual system, like the one there that doesn't require internet already. It's as a manual system like that one. But the ordering of meals, definitely you need data too, because the database is hosted online. M-Pesa, yeah, there's the APIs respond online also.
One last question from.
Okay, this is about
Yes.
Leo had said about the two-factor authentication. What if you said you sign in with your email? You enter your username or your email and password, but instead of it taking you to the dashboard, it asks you for a key or a key. That key will be sent on the email the one you're using. So you use the key, then you enter on the
Okay, on the spaces provided for you to enter there.
Meals you want to choose. Yeah.
Then you send. Then it will verify the code and take you to the dashboard.
Okay. Is it a question or a
No,
suggestion?
I think it's a suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe one final suggestion.
Yes.
You said that in the meals, if somebody has, let's say, got a meal of 30 shillings, then you add like later, after like somebody sees the meal is 30 shillings, so like when they're trying to be confirming the order, it will be 20 shillings.
Yes.
I would suggest that you liaise with you create a percentage in the system that if, let's say the meal is 30 shillings, what the user sees is a percentage that includes your commission. It's just a suggestion.
Okay. Yes.
One final question, because we are getting very time. One final question.
Okay, let me ask this.
Yes.
You have said that it's best with online.
Yes.
Have you ever thought of, have you already thought of creating an offline?
Yes. Okay. The framework you're using, when you do your transactions offline, they'll be cached to your mobile phone in your cache memory. Then the moment you go online, everything will start working. But whenever you're offline, it will not work.
So the generation of the
QR.
code
Yes.
is being scanned by the cashier.
Yes, the cashier. The cashier just scans your mobile phone. If your phone has those black, whatever on your screen.
Have you tried? Okay, have you tried you have said you've already tested it.
Yes.
And how long does it take to generate a QR code?
Okay, the QR code is not generated by the cashier. It's already on your phone. When you order a meal, you're sent a notification to tell you that you have ordered a meal for, okay, let's say ugali and beef. Then you'll be sent another notification to tell you which code to use. And when you tap on the notification, it will open a QR code on your screen. A QR is assigned the moment you buy the meal. Yes. You go there with a QR. Yes. So you just show the cashier. The cashier is just using the camera. Yes. Camera scan and the receipt. And the receipt is automatic. Scan, receipt. Scan, receipt. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes when you connect your WhatsApp with the web WhatsApp,
yes, it takes a while.
You scan and then it expires.
Yes.
Does it expire?
The QR.
Yes.
Yes, the QR, you cannot use a QR. Let's say you've bought a meal today and then go use it tomorrow. Or maybe you've bought lunch, you cannot use the same QR for supper.
No, what I mean is
it will expire.
Maybe I purchased food today, let's say at this hour.
Yes.
And currently I'm busy.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe I even forget. Can I use it tomorrow?
No. There is a feature for the manager that is called closed shelves. Closed shelves. This closes the cafeteria literally. No one can transact online when the manager has closed all shelves. It saves records for data keeping and for record keeping. All the data is sent and all the QRs expire. Yes.
So how can I get?
Okay, you should not have ordered in the first place if you are busy. Okay, you can share your QR with someone else, then they can pick the meal for you. And you see the problem with what you're suggesting? By default, the system runs like that. The QR can work even tomorrow. But the problem is that tomorrow they will upload different meals. So imagine 100 students bought 200, let me say, ugalis, and those people did not buy. The following day, the manager uploads 300 serves of ugali. But there are 200 students who are functional QRs who have not bought ugali that day who will come to claim ugali. Therefore, that is why we created the closed shelves to expire all. Chakula hiyo siku ita expire. That one will have to be noted so that users can know. As I said, it has a lot of features, but because we are restrained to the presentation, we cannot mention the features of the manager, the features of the stock. We just say how it works.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Actually, they are very great, you guys. Thank you for responding and getting it. Let's applaud them. Next is the water purification by Jemima. Then we will have smart automated irrigation by Ashley.
Those who have done their presentation, video, it's only a flat screen, I'm trying to hear. All of you can check that. Can we break a bit? Yes, for 10 minutes? Yes. So that the media team can check it. That's our media, that's our video, about an student. We can pause for a break. Let's just do a break. So that you can have when you come back. Stop. It's almost 1.
15 minutes.
It's okay. Just take all that I need from the and I'm going to Mwache
Good morning, everyone. To the leadership of Meru University of Science and Technology, it's my humble opportunity and privilege to be dialing and connecting with the university community in the context of the Innovation Week that is running in the institution. I really had planned to be at Meru University today, but unfortunately, due to certain obligations that relate to end of financial year and starting of a new financial year, I found it very difficult. As at yesterday, I really had to make changes that I can't travel and had to do a pre-recorded video of my presentation. So university leadership led by Professor Odhiambo, it's really my honor because this is one of the areas that I really want to support as many institutions as I can by virtue of the responsibility that I have heading the Kenya National Innovation Agency. So allow me to share a short presentation as I give my remarks, and then I can hand over the program back to the team. Just a minute. Doing a transition on this technology. I think here I am. And I hope that my presentation can be seen and my voice can be heard. So my name is Tony Mwansa, as some of you already know, and I am the current CEO of Kenya National Innovation Agency, where I joined a few months back, sometime late last year. And it is my honor and privilege to be participating, giving some keynote presentation during this particular special event that as an agency, we're very proud to be associated. I just wish the timing was a little different so I can be there physically, but some of these things you never quite plan for. So for those who don't know, I will give an indication of what Kenya National Innovation Agency is. It was established by an Act of Parliament of 2013 and became a little bit operational around 2016. And a substantive CEO was hired in September last year. And that's the position that I hold. Really, the agency is set to try and strengthen the innovation system in the country for socioeconomic development. This is our mission as an agency, to develop and manage a dynamic national innovation system that facilitates taking ideas to market. What that really means is that we don't have the ideas. We basically try to build as many ideas as possible from as many institutions and individuals as we possibly can. So trying to build that culture that moves ideas to market is what we are about. And our success is largely measured by did we succeed in taking ideas to market and how many did we do? You know, as I lay that foundation, there is generally a challenge within the IP commercialization process. And I think this is something that institutions now relate with significantly. We've got institutions like the National Research Fund, which are putting money into research infrastructure as well as supporting research. And, you know, from a government perspective, this is seen as an investment. And quite some funding is going. I do know a lot of funding has come into Meru University from the National Research Fund, among others. But therefore, thereafter, what happens to some of the research that we get involved in and whether we design the research to be able to generate intellectual property that can be exploited is something that the agency Kenya was really set to do, and we began trying to build that momentum among institutions and individuals. How much of this intellectual property that potentially gets created will get disclosed? How much of it will go through a process of trying to establish what is the value, proposition in terms of a commercial perspective? How much of that intellectual property will get protected? How much of that intellectual property will translate into some kind of plan, a business plan, or a commercial plan? And how much of that research that has been funded will finally translate into a spin-off, into some kind of a company, into some kind of a startup or a joint venture? And how much of that research will translate into a solution for customers, for users in the neighborhood of Meru University and beyond. That's the challenge, and that is part of why we're organizing an Innovation Week, so that we can provoke ourselves and begin to think about how do we strengthen our systems so that ultimately we impact people through the research and innovation work that we're involved in. And some of the things that we may have to think about this in terms of how our institutions get organized include issues like the intellectual property policies that we established and how well they are effective. If I randomly walk in the streets of the university and ask a professor how well they relate with the intellectual property, policies, then that's a measure of success that we can kind of evaluate. Or how much research is being considered for public good. Or if I met a student in the university and I asked them whether they are able to appreciate the institutional strategic efforts on commercialization or innovation, then that's a measure that our institutions are also mainstreaming the matters of innovation and that they will truly impact customers and users. And at this point, it's good to say that as much as possible, as a researcher or a student or as a university, we try to encourage people to be more user-centered and customer-centered whenever they're involved in their research projects. This way, when you create a solution, it's likely to impact some very, very specific people. A good friend of mine liked to say, fall in love with the problems, not the ideas. This way, we immerse ourselves in truly understanding the problems that society faces, and we create solutions that have potential impact and scalable in nature. So between the year 2020 and 2024, we are looking to support as an agency to sustainably support commercialization of more than 1,000 innovations from either individuals, institutions, across the country. And how we're going to do that is by attracting and nurturing appropriate partnerships. So when I come in here and engage Meru University, I see myself as a partner. And the next question is, which other partners can we bring together? And we work together to try and commercialize as many ideas as possible. So count me as a strong supporter of the process of commercialization. I do know that if I came, I was going to see a lot of great ideas and prototypes and pilots of many things that students and faculty have done. And then a question now, we start asking ourselves, how can we support these ideas so that they find their way into market and become more and more scalable, that they can attract even private sector funding for them to grow and impact more people? As an institution, if you look at the column that I have in the middle, this is a challenge that I have for as many institutions as possible. On one end, we are very active with education and research, and we interact with the society. How might the education process, the research, and the interaction with society translate into great ideas that will really truly impact that society? And then have these ideas be supported to become new products, new solutions, create jobs, build a strong economy. There's something in the middle that we have to do. And this thing in the middle is actually the responsibility of the institution, working with as many partners as possible, including Kenya National Innovation Agency. One of them is, what is the policy atmosphere within the institution? What is the physical infrastructure? Meru University is one of the unique universities that has a huge innovation center that is supported by the leadership and the governance infrastructure, and having so much support from private sector that enables you to have a facility like the one that I have visited is something to be very proud of. How do we strengthen the partnerships that then enable us to scale some of the innovations that we create? How do we ensure we have a meaningful business support framework that enables these ideas to grow and penetrate into the market? How is the characteristic of the mentorship? Because students and faculty who are innovating may not necessarily be amazing business people, and they will rely on some mentorship to succeed. How is the financing framework within the institution in line with partnership and in a global scale? How much are we connected with the R&D? Can we potentially be involved in research that translates into product development? This is the challenge that I have for Meru University. How can we strengthen the business development dimension of the university so that research finds its way into society as businesses and therefore impact society? So from Kenya, there are a couple of things that we're looking to do, and with some of them we've already started, is strengthen our national legal framework that supports technology transfer and commercialization. And that has to see things at national level, institutional level, and at the individual level. In other words, what is your responsibility? What is your obligation? What is your opportunity? We're able to provide some kind of oversight, and we're building structures around that. The other thing we want to strengthen is the innovation support systems. And when you say innovation support systems, we're talking about how might we help Meru universities to strengthen their internal policies? How might we strengthen the incubation hub programs? Or how might we strengthen the technology transfer, including, IP management, business development, partnerships with industry? Those are areas that we're building systems that we then look to plug into our institutions. The other way we are also looking to support these processes of innovation is by scouting. So one of the things that I would have really loved to do by being on site would be actually identify and recognize. We're going to give awards. That will be happening as the months and years go by. But then in terms of that identification, there is an opportunity to provide structured funding. And we do have some resources that we look to continue to award on an annual basis so that innovations can have an opportunity to grow. We are looking to see how institutions like Meru University strengthen their business coaching and mentorship program. We're beginning to look at what are the various models that we can use, what are the incentives that we can use, and how do we link the outputs of the institution from an innovation perspective towards investor and partner relationships. That's the second area. So it's more about supporting the scaling of innovations. The first area is about the appropriate environment. Then the third area that we'll see ourselves supporting is through strengthening the interaction with key elements of the innovation system. And this would include issues of capacity. This would include working with other partners locally and internationally, try to organize events that enable us to gather together and interact, ensuring there is reasonable technology transfer mentorship. There are a number of initiatives we're designing at the moment that will strengthen our interaction with the key ecosystem players on innovation. So one of the things that we have set up is called the Kenya Commercialization or Innovation Academy, and we're looking to build as much competencies as possible in institutions, riding on the efforts of STEM, competence-based curriculum, so that we can have leaders who appreciate commercialization, who appreciate innovation, and they can become champions in their own institutions. Meru University has already nominated 2 individuals who are innovation champions, and we will be part and parcel of that process of building that capacity as we grow the numbers and the skills within our ecosystem. The other thing that will be of interest to you is that we have put aside some funding to support the establishment and or strengthening of technology transfer programs in institutions. And we'll run a call, probably this new financial year, we're going to be just targeting maybe less than 5, and we run a call and people apply and we provide specific support towards strengthening technology transfer program, and maybe Meru University will be one of the beneficiaries. Strengthening the IP framework in institutions is something that has really stood out. And we're looking to figure out how might we grow and improve the IP framework in our institutions. Like I gave at the beginning, I gave a few examples, is how much of our students are involved in appreciating what these matters of intellectual property are. For example, why don't we have a common course on IP management and exploitation? It is a question I have asked institutional leaders, and at least I know 1 or 2 universities who have taken it up, and now they're introducing a common course, the same way we take communication or economics or HIV/AIDS and so on and so forth. We're also designing a tool that we will be using to gather insights of what's happening in our institutions so that we have a national way of seeing and evaluating progress across institutions. So institutional IP framework strengthening is something that is going to be fairly high in our priority list as a way of strengthening commercialization. The other element that is going to come up probably towards the end of the year is what we call an innovation marketplace. You see, once you create an innovation, you want to ask yourself, how does it get to market? And if it doesn't get to market, then there is a bit of a challenge there. I like to use my example of my grandmother who used to grow some vegetables and then take them to market. Taking them to a physical market gives us an opportunity to sell and meet a buyer and so on and so forth. So we're developing currently a digital marketplace that will enable innovators and scientists and researchers to upload their innovations that are protected and are looking for partners that they can use to scale those kind of innovations. Finally, I want to introduce to you the Kenya Innovation Week. Now, one of the dreams I have had over time is to see as many institutions as possible run their innovation programs, innovation weeks, innovation days, innovation seminars, and then we culminate this at a national level. That way we build a culture across the country of being innovation-centric. So for us as the Kenya National Innovation Agency, we'll coordinate an effort of a National Innovation Week that will happen between the 6th and the 10th of December. And this is where we look to make pronouncements of national significance around policies, how we enhance commercialization. We want to exhibit some of the best success stories. We want to advance the penetration of innovation, and we want to promote new skills. We have 4 tracks that we'll be focusing on during this Innovation Week, one of them being skills for innovation. And this starts from competence-based curriculum all the way to innovation leadership. We'll also be looking at technology transfer and commercialization. We'll also be into a 4th industrial evolution and how that helps to catalyze the future innovations. And then we'll also be having a track on startups, and this will be looking at some of the most successful startups in Kenya. We're primarily going to look into three sectors. One of them is healthcare, and that's among the big 4. In participating. One of the things that will stand out during the Innovation Week is going to be the Commercialization Summit. So this is going to be the first National Commercialization Summit that we want to run, and we hope that Meru University will find a place in this Commercialization Summit. During this summit that will happen between the 7th and the 8th, there will be pronouncements around policy in the context of national commercialization. We also want to look into the business case and business models for commercialization. We want to launch the national digital marketplace that I mentioned earlier. There will also be case studies of successful commercialization, both locally and internationally. And then we also look to award
Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm Jamie Magaki and my partner is and we are presenting on water purification using Moringa oleifera extract. So basically, water is among the basic needs. So we need water in our daily life. So lack of microorganism-free water, like pure water for use in drinking and other domestic part, has been a major problem in the whole world today entirely. So it's approximated, according to the World Health Organization, it is approximated that 829 1,000 people die annually due to lack of pure water for using. This is because the methods used for treating water are by the use of aluminum sulfate, commonly known as the alum. It is important, so it is expensive, but again, the alum has some residual effects, like if it's used in excess limited, it causes these Alzheimer's diseases, and then it is neurotoxic and carcinogenic, so it's prone to these cancerous infection maybe. But by use of Moringa oleifera extract, Moringa oleifera is a natural thing, like it's a natural product because it is extracted from the Moringa oleifera tree. So it's natural, and again it's cheap because it's locally available in our country. You can produce it, you can grow the tree, and then you can obtain the seeds which are used to produce this extract that is used to purify the water. Basically, the Moringa oleifera seed extract has an antibacterial factor in it that kills the microorganism present in the water. And again, the Moringa oleifera extract has some, it's a biological thing, so it has these protein molecules in them that help to segment the water and carrying out the turbidity and making all the dust settle at the bottom of the water, so making the water just pure. And again, after the end of the day, the water will be pure and clear for use in domestic uses for drinking. So that's why we recommend the use of Moringa oleifera seed extract as an alternative way of treating water.
Yeah, so I'm just going to mention like where we got the idea from. Now, just before I mention about the operation model, the idea comes from a community in Turkana. Yeah. The idea comes from a community in Turkana. Where the idea comes from a community in Turkana, and they used to use Moringa oleifera seeds and the powder to coagulate and to clean water from Lake Turkana. So that is what we are just trying to do. We only have the idea, and we want to operationalize that idea. What you need to do is just plant the seeds. For Moringa oleifera tree takes around 6 to 8 months, dependent on the place where you're growing. And around this area, it's around 8 months. And a kg of Moringa oleifera seeds, it costs 1,200 shillings. So it is not very expensive. And 1 kg contains about 4,000 seeds. So once you have the seeds, it is easy now. The next thing that you need to do is prepare land, cultivate, and prepare, grow, and you can harvest the seeds. And from the seeds now you will coagulate. You will ground the powder, then which then we'll use to coagulate, which we then will use for water purification purposes. So what is the operation model? Operation model is simply, once you have acquired funding, is to make the product. And the process, that is what I was trying to mention, the process between acquiring funding and where we make the product. It is not a one-way thing. It's something that we do as a process, that you have to grow Moringa oleifera, because buying the seeds will not be economical. It is very expensive to grow the seeds. So to buy the seeds, so what you need to do is plant. Once you have the seeds, because it is easy to grow, and it grows relatively well in all kinds of soils. So what you need to do is to grow. Once you have the seeds, we can make the product, and then we try to market and then sell it to the local market. The local market includes the wells that are around, and we're just trying to campaign even in the sewerage companies, sewerage treatment companies, so that they can try and incorporate this material in their processes. So. Now this is just an example of, we said aluminum sulfate is now the product that is being used in the market right now. Aluminum sulfate is very expensive, by the way. It is imported. You know, with importation comes with excess duty, comes with a lot of charges, and it's very expensive. But Moringa oleifera, once you have, it is only expensive if you buy the seeds. If you buy the seeds and then you're trying to coagulate the water using the seeds. I was reading another article, and it was saying what you need to do with Moringa oleifera seeds. You require
around 7 grams, just 7 grams for 8 liters. You can try to imagine 7 grams. So 7 grams is quite small, and now 8 liters is not actually the water you're going to treat. 8 liters is making the stock solution. Once you've made the stock solution, you're now going to use the stock solution to clean water, right? So you can see, and you're only going to use very small amounts of the stock solution. Then you can see it is very economical. Another advantage of Moringa oleifera is that it does not have any residual effect. Yeah, unlike aluminum sulfate, which has been associated with Alzheimer's disease. Yeah, and then Alzheimer's disease is a mental disease. And another advantage is that it's just natural. It's a natural raw material, unlike aluminum sulfate, which is made from toxic synthetic organic polymers, which are carcinogenic. Well, the next. This is basically the advantages that we're talking about. Commercialization milestone. This is what we are doing basically. Right now we are in the 4th stage. We are in the 4th stage of initial development and verification. We have not done anything yet. This is just an idea that we have, because it's very expensive. It's not cheap. You require some materials that you will need to verify all this. So once we have acquired some money to do this, we are going to create a project, then we demonstrate the project. Yeah.
Okay, basically the risk involved in this project is that already we have an existing way of cleaning. So incorporating and bringing this new idea, it's gonna take a lot, maybe a bit of time to convince people. And then you aren't sure, educating the community on how it's good, like you bring it to the market, bring a new product to the market, it's basically a try, so that the risk we are trying, maybe people will accept it, the outcome, what we are supposed to do with the outcome, how we are supposed to handle the challenges that comes with the new process, basically that the risk that we have now. Now, about the mitigation measure, we'll try to create the public awareness and teach people on the importance of Moringa oleifera. Basically, apart from treating water, Moringa oleifera has been used for medicinal purposes. So basically, if you used it to treat water, in the process of drinking the water, I think it would be beneficial to use in some kind of health. It helps heal some diseases within the body system. I think it could be better, rather than using the alarm, which if you use it in excess, it will bring some carcinogenic effects in the body which aren't that desirable for us. So first of all, we want to create the public awareness of the moringa, and then campaign about it and tell people it's a really good method of treating water, and it's really easy. Anybody can do it, provided that you have the Moringa oleifera. You can just do it from their own basis, and then these water treating companies, they can incorporate it within their programs. The Mewas, those companies, they can use the Moringa instead of the alarms, and maybe it could be better and cheaper for them. And again, it could be more healthier to develop a healthy nation for the betterment of the country at large. So basically, about our ask, we could request for funding so that at least we can actualize our project, because basically currently it's on the idea phase. So if we got some funding, we could put this idea into practice and make it actual. Basically.
One last thing is that 64% of Kenya is not utilized. 64% of land in Kenya is not utilized. The government is thinking every day of ways to utilize this land, and they are finding it very difficult. Moringa oleifera is going to help with that, utilizing the available land. And you see, Kenya is short of resources. We do not have as much resources compared to other countries like let's say, for example, Saudi Arabia, which has oil. As we do not, the hugest asset that you have is the youth, as well as the land that you have. So if you utilize this land that you have, we are going to go places. Thank you.
Let's applaud them for the presentation. Questions to the presenters? Yes.
I've really enjoyed the presentation, and I think it's one of the best. So my question is that, what will be the mode of the product? Will it be a syrup? Because currently I'm one of the users of this product, and I love it so much because it's helped a lot. So the one which I'm using is in form of powder, and I'm using it as additive in my foods. When I consume it because I know the health effect which it's having in my life. So for the treatment of water, how will you admit it to the users in form of powder or a syrup? And if it will be in the form of a syrup, how will you process it so that you can obtain that syrup?
Basically what you do, you obtain the moringa aloe vera seeds. From the seeds, you make the powder. From the powder, you make a stock solution. It's like making a stock solution is like diluting something from a bigger standardized thing. So we take the powder as the standardized the primary standard. Then with the powder, you create this solution. Like you want water to the powder, and then from the powder you form some kind of syrup maybe. Then you want the syrup directly to the water, like the liquid formed from the addition of the mixing of the water and the powder forms the treatment factor. Like you want the solution to the water to be purified, and then you leave it to settle for some times. Basically, that's all. You're done the treatment process.
And maybe to add more one question.
Yeah.
And now, being that you're going to do it, I just recommend now when you administer to the users, at least you tell them in a 20 liters of water, what amount can you use for that amount of water. And I think this one is so good because our community need actually a good health. Most of the people are in the hospital because of cancers, and using the treatment of water which we are using now, these are the causes, and it's good that you mentioned that. So medicating this will really help the community.
Yeah, basically about the amount to be added, it doesn't have any effect. First of all, we have said it's natural. So if you overdo it, it doesn't have any effect. But for the essence of the economy, maybe to be economical, rather 1 gram of the powder is enough for 20-liter water treatment. But even if you do it in excess, it's just a natural thing. It won't have any side effect on you. Yeah.
Like you said, it is also used for medicinal purposes. It is an additive to food, for food. So growing moringa aloe vera, just even the tree alone, is going to be very profitable.
Yeah, and again to add to it, when you grow the tree, basically you use the stems for treating water, and then the leaves and the root part have other function. Maybe you can use it as the additional advantage. After you have the tree, you have obtained your seeds, then you have the leaves. Leaves are full of proteins. Maybe from it you can synthesize a kind of meal. From the leaves you can synthesize some kind of medicines. From the root you can find out, okay, with the plants within you, maybe you can find more use for it, and it could be more advantageous, yeah, in the process.
Okay. Thank you. That was a good presentation. I have one question on this. Okay. In your introduction, I heard that this particular solution have been tried in Turkana, right?
Yeah, very true.
So what's different?
Yeah. So what they did is just the idea was taken and it was tested in labs like SICK in the USA. It was tested and it was proven that it does. It was just it's like they just proved that it was. People used to think it was a myth, and now it was proven that it does all that work. Yeah, it works. So what is lacking in Kenya is the commercialization. It has not been commercialized. It is not being used anywhere. People are using alum, as you can see, even in Nawasco in Smalls. Yeah.
And again, with the Turkana community, all they knew it's about the congratulatory part. Okay, they were talking about the congratulatory factor of the moringa aloe vera since they didn't know it as the antibacterial factor. So they measured on the clarity of the water. They didn't measure it on the bacterial factor of the moringa aloe vera. So the Turkana Lake, I think it's kind of turbid, it's muddy. So they used it to clarify the water. So basically they hadn't gone deep into the moringa, so they didn't realize this is the antibacterial factor, and that's what we are propagating, the antibacterial factor present in the moringa oleifera, and the factor is a protein called rhamnocellulose benzylcysteokinase. Yeah, it's a combination of some benzene acids and amino acids, the protein itself, which has the antibacterial factor, and it operates by it's kind of inhibitor. It inhibits the enzyme from carrying out the bacteria present in the water from carrying it, the enzymatic. It's kind of enzymic inhibitor. So in the process, if the bacteria doesn't carry out the metabolic processes, it ends up dying. So what we are propagating and what we discovered about this moringa oleifera, it's the interesting part, the antibacterial factor in the moringa. That's what basically we are propagating about, and that's what we are saying. It's really possible. It works out. Yeah.
What is your business model?
Okay. Basically, first of all, our project is on idea phase, so we are planning of, if we get this funding, we're gonna, first of all, we start by maybe growing this moringa oleifera seeds to make it easier and more economical for us to operate. Then we can
Growing it.
Yeah, you grow the tree.
How long will I have to wait until the tree grows?
Within 8 months is enough for it to be fully grown,
So which
mature.
part of that tree are you using?
The seeds, it's the seeds inside the seed pod. So
So within 8 months, the tree will have grown and produced seeds.
yeah, if it's taken good care of, within 8 months it's enough, and sometimes it varies even from 6 months to 8 months. I think it's enough. I've seen it happen in a place. I've seen somebody grow it, and within 6 to 8 months, it was ready to produce the pons. Yeah.
So then how are you planning to find users of your product, and how are you planning to make them use your whatever product that you want to get out of it?
Yeah, you're asking about advertisement. So what we want to do is...
Who are your customers?
Yes, these are our customers are people who use wells. And not only people who use wells, people who use wells, the sewerage companies, and that is actually our biggest challenge, to try and convince these people that moringa oleifera is very economical and that it can be used in their programs.
So how will you identify your market share? Because all these people, currently there's something they're using.
Yes.
What solution are you bringing in?
No, this is a better alternative, this one.
What is your solution? I mean, what is this problem you saw that you're trying to solve?
Oh, yeah.
And trying to solve it better than those who are already in that market area?
Yeah, like we said, we did the competitor analysis, and we said moringa oleifera, first of all, is cheaper, way cheaper than alum. So it is economical, and Second thing, alum has been associated with other diseases. So we're trying to get rid of, it's like asbestos. Now people got an alternative, and they no longer use asbestos. Why? Because it is associated with cancer. Now that is the same thing that we're doing here. We want to remove it from the market so that we now use moringa oleifera. So not to remove, as in to bring a better alternative, because you cannot, to bring a better alternative that will be used.
What strategy are you planning to use? That's what I have to know.
First of all, on the risk, we are saying it's a new product, and going against an already existing product is a real problem. But first of all, we try and educate them and just make these people see the advantage, the better side of the moringa.
That consumer now tell me the advantage. Convince me so that I can avoid what exists and utilize this new thing.
Okay, fine. First of all, I'm talking about moringa. First of all, moringa is locally available. You can just grow it within your compound and have if you grow it within your compound, you don't have even to purchase it.
Because I'm talking about safe water for drink. So I stay 8 months waiting for
No.
You know, it's still a new idea. So if we implement it, it's a new idea. So we're in the process of implementing it. So it's only waiting because the advantages are just good. It's just good.
Without drinking water.
But basically,
No. We are the ones who are making the product actually. So once you have made the product, we'll have the product with us.
Actually, I was expecting maybe
Yeah.
you telling me maybe there's somewhere you can be accessing these seeds
Yeah.
before my tree grows.
yeah, already some people are growing the seed, but they aren't using it for purification. They're using it for other uses, maybe medicinal purposes. So you can maybe get them from moringa. Basically, the moringa powder is already in market for other use, but basically not for the water purification. So maybe you can acquire it and adapt it as a water purified method.
Okay,
Okay.
I have a question and also a suggestion for you. And talking about the moringa, your idea here is entering the market and also helping the community solve a problem. So, you number one, and before I ask you the question, my suggestion is you need to play a balance between helping the community solve a problem and generating revenue from your idea, because if all of us grow the trees, then there's no market for you. So, for example, if I grow the trees, you grow the trees, then at the end of the day, we will thank you for showing us a better solution. But at the end of the day, you will not have made anything out of it. So, to me, I can help you better. Okay, the idea I have is you should come up, think of a way you can package your seeds and present in a presentable way such that it doesn't look to the person at home as if they can just do it in the morning and they don't need to buy your product. So you need to focus on the market. How do you package your product so that you are not kicked out of the market in the place where everybody realizes, oh, we don't need to buy water purifiers anymore, let's just plant these trees. That's the idea. So focus also on the market value of the same, but more so the packaging part. Think about that so that in as much as you're educating people, remember you want the market. So think about presenting it in a way that it will create market for you and not kick you out of the market instead.
Thank
Your idea is very good. Don't be discouraged.
Yeah. Think it's a nice one.
It's a very good idea. It's doable, it's understandable, and it's achievable. Let's appreciate them.
Next is Smart Automated Irrigation System by Ashley and Tim.
Good afternoon. I'm Ashley, and this is my team member, John. The rest are not here, they're doing the exam. And our project is about smart.
Have you shared your slides here because we're projecting it on Zoom? Please save it again. I think it's not open. Just give them the permission to save it again. Oh, no, it's okay. Smart automation.
Yes. Our project is about smart automated irrigation system.
Okay, the current problem that is facing, Okay, the current problem that is facing our agricultural activities, mainly concerning irrigation, is that a lot of water goes to wastage, through runoffs, also evaporation. That's one problem. Also, there is increase in population, hence increasing demand of food, which is relying on irrigation for food to grow. Also in Kenya, you know, most of the parts are arid and semi-arid. So irrigation activities to happen, for farming to happen, you require irrigation. So that's why we have introduced our system to try to face that challenge of aridity and semi-aridity. Yeah, also the rain that most farmers rely on is not sufficient for the crops to grow. Yeah, due to climate change. So yeah, those are some of the problems that we identified in the society, and that led to us coming up with this irrigation system. Yeah. So this is a sample of the system where we've connected soil moisture sensor, which collects the data from the soil and send the data to a microcontroller, which gauges the amount of moisture. When the moisture level is too low, the microcontroller switches on the pumps. Yeah, and there is a water source which acts as a reserve. So on receiving the data, the microcontroller gauges the content of the moisture in the soil, and if the soil moisture is high, the microcontroller switches off the pumps and irrigation is controlled. Also, our system is using drip irrigation, so the plant gets enough water due to the drip which places the water where the plant needs it. Yeah, so that's how our system works. Okay, testing. We carried a test to ensure that the drips water the crop evenly, so that each crop gets sufficient amount of water, and it is evenly distributed in the whole farm. Yeah, so we carried that research because that's also a challenge. You can have a system that water goes to a certain part, and where other parts don't receive enough water. So that's what we tested on. Yeah, and our result shows that the system distributes water evenly, yeah, through drips. So that's about testing. Okay, competitors analysis. Currently we don't have other farms that are using a similar system in irrigation. Yeah.
The competitive advantage, in our case, there is ease of access of technical advice and workshop facilities. By this we mean, since our project is on the school farm, compared to other people, compared to someone else who will think of this idea, they'll have to go and look for a mechanical engineer. But for us, we're in a school, so we have students. I can go there to the School of Engineering and look for an engineering student to help me to put together the system. When I need a software developer, I'll go to the School of Engineering, right? So that's a competitive advantage. Ability to develop custom-made product to suit the individual needs. We are going to, for us, we are making a system, a web server. So when I go to the farmer, the farmer is going to give me the preferences that he requires for his software, compared to when a phone comes into a market, let's say the Oppo company, they bring the phone to you. There are features that are there that you didn't want, but that is, I hope you're getting me. When Oppo brings it, they've already put features. There are things that you didn't want, but they're already there. But for us, we'll go to the farmer, ask him or her, what do you want in your system, and we're going to modify it for him. the big market is available for the product. Commercialization, we are targeting the small and large-scale farmers, and also targeting to contribute in government irrigation system. We're hoping that whatever we are doing is going to help the government. You know, water is something that is required in each and every place. And if you conserve it, you're going to reduce on utility bills. Risk and mitigation measures. The risk is reluctance to technology adoption. When a new product is brought to the market, everyone is 50-50 about it. So this is the problem that we are facing. We are hoping that going to the farmers, we hope that they're going to listen to us and we're going to implement it, and they're going to see the changes that farming is going to bring. Mitigation, on pilot studies and farmer open days. This is like a showcase where, since the system is already, the prototype is already working. We took one with our mentor to Tarakanidhi. So there's a farmer who is using the system. So for us, in mitigation, we hope to showcase it and bring other farmers together. So when a farmer who has not used the system is going to see, okay, this system is working, how can I use it? Innovators ask, being given the startup fund, will be able to advance the prototype and improve an existing innovation. We're not saying that this innovation is ours. It is something that is there, but for us, we are improving it to be better. And this is the team at work. Our mentor is Dr. Maitevia. I, Ashley Abundi.
And I, John.
And the rest who are not here. I'm from the School of Computing.
Also from the School of Computing.
The others are from School of Engineering and School of Physical Science. And that is the contact information. Thank you for your attention. I welcome questions.
Let's applaud for the presentation. So, are there any questions to the presenters? You said that you are going to develop the system to a specific user, like whatever the user asks, that is what you develop, right? Mm-hmm. It means every time you will be developing a new system, what does that mean?
We'll be modifying it.
Another question?
Why do you think, I think I missed on the part where I was expecting for you guys to show us, like with our system, the old model, the old model uses, like, let's say 1,000 liters in a day. For our system, we are using, because it's smart, it's using 100 liters per day. I missed that part. I don't know if it was intentional. Secondly, since you say that there's a farmer using the system, could you mind sharing the figures and the set of land that you installed the system?
Well, the photo that I displayed earlier is not a clear picture of the farm, but it's a large-scale farm, and you can see there's a large water point. So for this system, the water comes from the water source with the valves which are here, and the wheelbarrow together with the solar panel. So our energy comes from the solar panel. The control system is below the solar panel. The control system it constitutes of ESP32 module with relays and all that. So the reason why it is in a wheelbarrow, a wheelbarrow is portable, so it can be placed in any place of the farm. Yeah. And then there's a question asked before that.
I asked about the size, how different is your model from the old model, since when it comes to water utilization?
It's a good question. We've not put the values yet, but we're going to do that. Yes.
So to make that, whatever I'm seeing, is how much?
It's about 100K and above. Yes.
Another question? Since there's no other, there is a question.
Is there any, like, is there any other company using the same technology? Makes it look familiar.
By familiar, where have you seen it?
Yes, if you go to the Meru University website, there's something of that sort. I don't think I'm the only person who have seen it.
You're right. We are using the school farm. We have a portion in the school farm where we've cultivated the farm, and we've also placed the drip irrigation. So what we are remaining with is farming, putting the seedlings and to start getting results from the system. So this one is already in another farm in Tarakanid.
Okay.
Yes.
So whatever I saw is your product.
Yes.
Okay.
Another question? Let's appreciate them. Next is making buffets. Are they around? Then from there, George will follow with two presentations.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Okay, this is my team that we are working on this project, briquette making, and I want to allow them to introduce and to say their name.
Zamali Kunyango.
Jamie Magaki.
And Samuel.
Okay, and I'm Samuel Mwangi. So, there are a number of things that we observed. That's why we decided to come up with this project. Number one, the briquette we are just making from the rice husk, and we know.
A briquette, it is a form of fuel made from charcoal or carbon.
But in our case right now, we are not using now the charcoal, or rather the cow duct. We are using now the rice husk. And the rice husk is the byproduct of the rice. And the reason why we have decided to come with this project, number one, we saw the method of disposing this rice husk is through burning, and maybe just disposing everywhere. So, and we realized when you are burning this rice husk, we are producing the CO2 that actually is contributing to 6% of the global warming. So there is a need for us to come up with a method that we can use it is not going to produce the CO2, because if we continue burning the rice husk, we are creating more and more harms. So the making of the the making of the briquettes from the rice husk is going to curb that problem of production of the CO2 to the environment. And another thing, we realize that 90% of our population, they are relying so much on the firewood and charcoal as a source of fuel. So, and we can now predict if 90% of population is using the firewood and the charcoal, we can now predict where will be our forest in the next maybe 5 years to come. We shall have no forest because an increase in 1% of our population will automatically result to an increase of 14% consumption of the firewood and the charcoal. So there's a need for us to come up with a cheaper method, cheaper source, or rather an alternative that is cheaper source of energy. And that's why we decided to come up with the project. So solution that we are going to create, number one, we are going to curb that challenge of deforestation. Number two, we are going to minimize the CO2 that is released to the environment. And number three, we are going to produce an available, not only an available, but a very cheap source of fuel. Thank you. Let me allow Zamal to take us through the next part.
Thank you, Mwangi. Competitive advantage. As you have heard from Mwangi, that actually making of briquette from rice husk is eco-friendly. It is friendly to the environment. Number one is the calorific value of briquette is high. Why? When you burn a carbonaceous material, you are going to use a little heat to do carbonation process, and then the amount of heat that will be produced will be high, and that is why I'm referring to calorific value of briquette of 23.708 mole per joule per kg. Number two, it will be available at a lower cost compared to other sources of energy like charcoal. Why? We are going to utilize the byproduct, that is the rice husk, in making of the briquette, and therefore the cost will be as low as possible. Number three is making briquettes from rice husk helps to reduce deforestation. Now we are going to curb the problem of deforestation when we now use the rice husk in making of briquette, that is alternative fuel. Why? We are going to find that the trees that are cut down in every places or in our environment are now going to reduce. The number of trees that are going to be cut is going to go down, and therefore we'll have an alternative source of fuel. Now we are going to do what is called forest preservation. When I move to commercialization milestones, we find that the briquette fuels come from a byproduct, that is rice husk. This will make commodity to be sold at a lower price. Now we find that when we now take when we now make our briquettes, that is from rice husk, and then we take to the market, we'll find that people will go for it. Why? Because it will be at a lower price. Now the commodity will be sold at a lower price. We as maybe the sellers of the product, we shall sell it at a lower price, because where we are finding the product in making, where we are finding the maybe raw material in making of the product is just the rice husk. You know, when rice has been harvested, they're just exposed, and therefore the raw materials are readily available. So we shall go for them, and then we make the briquette fuel. Now, being that we are getting the raw materials easily, that is from the byproduct that are just disposed, that are just dumped, we as sellers will now sell the product at a lower cost. And that is why I'm saying it will make the commodity to be sold at a lower price, making it available to everyone who demands it. Number two, this is now the milestone we are facing in the market. The milestone was that there are other forms of fuel in the market. So there is competition, like gas and charcoal will be a wide challenge in the market, as many will still prefer the already existing form of fuel. So in order for us to convince them to go for it, we realized to fix affordable price to everyone who may require the product. When I move to the next slide, that is risk and mitigation measures, I'll now invite my fellow Jemima Gaki to take over.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the risk involved with the making of the briquettes. Basically, the briquettes are made through a process called the carbonization process. In the carbonization process, there is a process where you have to burn these rice husk down so that you may produce the powder, which is taken then through the briquetting machine to form these blocks, which are referred to as the briquettes. So, one risk involved in this carbonization method, there is this, some traces of CO2 can be released from the process. So the mitigation measure we're gonna take about this is that we'll do it in a closed chamber, and then in the chamber maybe you introduce these carbon oxides like the calcium oxide, so to ensure that there is no carbon dioxide that is let out to the atmosphere. So like we retain the carbonization process in a closed chamber, and the chamber should be lined with this calcium oxide thing so that the carbon dioxide isn't released to the atmosphere, making it cause maybe this global warming and maybe environmental pollution. Yeah. Then we're gonna talk about the innovators ask. Okay, basically what we could request for is funding. So our project is on an idea phase and we want to actualize it. And what we ask for is like if we can get some kind of funding, maybe we can put this idea into practice. Basically what we need is for the idea to go through is buy a briquetting machine, which costs around maybe 75,000, could be good for it. And then transport, like purchasing of the byproducts, the rice husk won't be expensive because the farmers are it's something they neglect after they have harvested their rice. So like bargaining with them and getting their rice husk from them could be relatively cheap. And then the other thing is transporting the rice husk from the area where we get them to the lab or to the station where you're gonna use it to make the rice husk. And basically maybe the manpower we're gonna be present to make the briquette, it doesn't need a lot of things. So around maybe 180,000 could be fine for the startup for the making of the briquettes. And then the briquettes, you see, when you've already started the process, it could be easy to release more product into the market. Now it's gonna be a new alternative source of fuel, and it's gonna be good for us because it's just cheap, it's available. The carbon dioxide from it is just less, it's low. Yeah, basically that's all about it.
Yeah, in conclusion, in this 21st century, all we want to apply is the environmentally friendly innovation. So, to sum up, briquettes provide an alternative, cheap source of energy, which is eco-friendly, and it will also help us to minimize the global warming effect that is production of carbon into the atmosphere. Thank you.
Thank you. We now invite your questions.
Any questions to the presenters? Okay, maybe one. On your method or your model on how to ensure this zero carbon mitigation, after you when close to this carbon, maybe in that particular room, where are you going to release it?
Okay, when you put, like in the chamber, we said we're gonna line the chamber with these cobbing, they're called cobbing compounds. So like when we line the chamber with calcium oxide, the calcium oxide will react with the carbon dioxide produced, so there is no carbon dioxide which is released in the atmosphere.
Then what about this metal that is being produced when I'm using the briquettes now?
It's in few traces, and again, it's like when you use it, it's similar to the firewood. So when you use the firewood, the carbon dioxide released from the fire, it doesn't have that much effect. Like You see, you use the firewood within a house closed up in a kitchen, and you are able to survive in there. That means it isn't that infectious. Maybe same applies to a briquette. Briquette is more like a firewood. It's a fuel, so I don't think, you know, to get the energy from the fuel, we break down this carbon dioxide to release the energy. So basically, I don't think the traces are almost 0.something%.
What is your business model?
Yeah, basically maybe we want first of all to produce the first briquettes. Then when we produce the briquettes, maybe we can sell them out to the people. And then the market is just wide. Anybody can have it for home purposes, for industrial purposes, like the tea factories, which involve some burning or some combustion in their processes. They can buy these briquettes. Like, you can also buy it for home use, yeah?
What I meant
Yeah.
is how are you planning to scale up your business? How sustainable will it be? How are you planning to earn revenue from this innovation?
Yeah. First, according, or let's say, in every county is a school, a boarding school, and in every school they should cook. So that's where we are targeting. We are targeting the schools, since
But
they.
rice is not grown everywhere.
But
yeah, it's not grown everywhere, but we are okay. The rice husk that is actually it is being produced annually. It is 800, 500 tons, and probably we can rely on we can rely on these areas that are producing in order to get that the byproduct. So we are by doing so, we shall ensure that the commodity is there will be continuous supply of the commodity in the market.
And second, to add on what you are saying, we know that rice is one of the, let's say, the food that every human being needs for consumption. So we find that we'll encourage those who are growing rice to grow it to a large scale in order for us to get the byproduct.
Thank you for presentation. I think it's nice. It's well thought. However, as one of my colleagues is asking, I feel you should also add some items to enhance the utilization of your briquettes, because the acceptability of the product might be a challenge. So as you think about coming up with the briquettes, also think about coming up with a facility which can use those briquettes efficiently and effectively with the minimal emission of carbon dioxide, which you might have. So think about that, and so don't limit yourself. It has a potential, and you should have responded. We have many rice growing areas in Kenya, Tana River,
Actually, yeah.
So you should be thinking outside the box, not about Moya only. You should be thinking beyond Kirinyaga.
Let me ask the questions. The first question is, in your budget or in your innovators ask, you quoted 180,000. So this amount will produce what volume of briquettes? Because I want to compare it with what's available in the market. So to see if it's a good option.
Actually, the reason why it is just an estimate, because when we look at the cost of briquetting machine, it's around 75. So when we consider transportation and then buying the raw material, so it can reach to that point. But it's just for a start.
At what volume? Because at that start, let's say you're using, 20,000.
Yes.
What volume do you expect to produce?
Okay, it is the innovation is still at idea phase. So when we are given that opportunity to now go outside and then now we will now be able to find what volume is required, because it is still in idea phase.
The next question is, we know that you have different types of firewood.
Yes.
Like the Buga firewood is different from the, let's say, Kafira firewood, and they burn at different rates. So how can you compare your briquette to, let's say, charcoal? How do they compare? Like charcoal, it can take like 10 minutes before you start using it if you are lighting a jiko. So how long does it take to light your briquette before you start using them?
Actually, that's a very good question. Yeah. But one thing that I want you to remember this, okay, we are going to show the comparison, but again, we don't want to work away with charcoal. But what we want first of all is to, because charcoal at the moment it is producing the CO2 that we don't want. But the briquette that we are making from the rice, it's not produced that whatever. But again, we have not come up with a very clear rate, but what we know, briquette, it will only maybe take like 3 minutes there, then it will be ready.
Please, just check on that.
Yeah.
Another question? Seeing this again,
Yeah, you know what I can say is that actually these guys have nice ideas, especially ideas that are touching to the immediate environment. That is one of the crises that we are facing globally today. It's environmental concerns. Every government in the world is concerned about the environment in the next few years and the kind of life we will live in the quickly changing climatic conditions over the years. So your idea is fit for the problem the immediate world is facing. So all I can encourage you is the thing you need to do now is have the detailed work plan of what you want to do. Like we want this with this amount of, with this amount we can produce this, with this amount of money we can produce this, with this amount of this product we can do this. Like a clearly detailed plan, so that for planning, so that and then as he said, I will also emphasize you can also think, because you want to own the market, and you want to own your market. So it's an idea also, if you can produce something that people can use, like we use charcoal, why don't you also produce something else like a jig or something that works best with this one, so that you have a competitive advantage over. You see, we have even very good jig or in the market. And it is not easy to penetrate the market without having a competitive advantage in that case. So somebody will be like, now why do I buy this if I can't use it with this? So you can think of something you can use that can integrate even what you already have to gain a competitive advantage. So that is the only suggestion that I have.
Thank you.
So since there is no other question, let's applaud them as they leave the stage. Next is Dira. After Dira, he will also present about time.
Okay, good afternoon.
Excuse Judge. Which one first?
So sorry for the inconvenience. I have a small problem. My name is George. Today I'll be presenting Dira. Dira is an app that will direct you to where those products are, especially when you visit those new places. The customer problems: as you visit new places, you find it challenging to locate your preferred products. So there's this product you're used to, there's life you have here, and there's life now when you move somewhere else. You want to visit a place. And now in that new place, you want to find the products you're using. You also want to compare prices. You want to find products where it's easy for you to access. You don't want to move around town asking shop to shop where those products are being sold. The opportunity is maps, as we know, are inadequate to direct you to the sellers of these products. An app that will check a seller's inventory and direct you to that seller is much better. So what I'm developing you is an app that not only gives you maps, but only gives you map directions to where that particular product is. The solution is, one, we bring you an app that allows the seller or a shop owner to manage the inventory, what they are selling, the prices. An app that will direct a buyer to the product and its seller. So you want to search a product, you want us to direct you to that product, and this app will be able to do that. And lastly, an app that allows a buyer to compare products before being directed to the seller. So we have various product descriptions that will be showing you from different sellers. You want to see these products, you want to see how much they are selling them at, and you want directions to where these products are. So how does DIRA work? One, you log in if you're a normal customer, a shopper, or you subscribe if you own a shop. So the customers here are not paying. Those paying are those who own shops. The shop owner will be able to manage the inventory. They can add products, their prices. Then a shopper, you the visitor of that new place, you'll be able to search these products. You'll be able to compare the prices for these products and get directions to the product, which is now very important. So we are still testing this software. We are still testing the software. It's in the process of development, and it will be out soon. Who am I competing with? I'm competing with Google Maps, Microsoft Bing Maps, Apple Maps, and you realize that all these softwares only work for those manufacturers. Apple Maps will only work for Apple devices, same case for Microsoft to their devices, and Google Maps to their devices. I want you to download your app, whatever device you're using, and still get directions. All competitors will only provide map services to direct the user to the location, not the product. So my aim is, what product are you looking for? Maybe you want to know where you could buy such chairs, okay? So you can search just the chair, you get the images, get the directions to those who are selling those chairs, compare prices, and when you can get those products. Competitive advantage. This app can direct you to the seller of your favorite product. You want to choose a product on a map. That's what the app will help you do. Commercialization. This app will be subscription based. Who will be subscribing to this app? The shop owner will be subscribing to our application. They'll be managing the inventory. We also have a model that allows this shop owner to advertise their goods to either new customers or customers that have already been there. The subscription interval is 1 month. We'll give you a free trial period the first time you subscribe, and then you'll be paying through a Google Secure payment. Lastly, that's my budget. So we'll be looking at marketing, which is getting a high share, hosting on the cloud, which is very important because we want you to have these cloud services. We want you to access this map from anywhere. So if I'm supported, I'll be able to manage that budget so that we manage the core function of this application. You can reach me through my email, or you can call 0718 860 and 044. So that's it about Dira.
Let's applaud him for the questions to the presenter. One question.
Yes.
From your budget,
Yeah.
I have seen some amount for developer.
Yes.
You are not the one who is going to develop this, right?
I am.
Or you want to pay yourself? And then I just wanted that clarification. Is okay.
Yeah.
Another question. Have you visited this gg.com site? And
Yes.
maybe you tell me the difference.
Yeah, gg.com. It's online. You buy products from their site, then you have those products delivered to you. I am targeting visitors, new people. Okay, you want to visit a remote location, and within that remote location, can you get milk? Can you buy soap from that remote location? Okay, that's what Dira wants to achieve.
gg.com does not deliver goods. I think Jumia is the one that delivers. Jumia and Kilimall. Okay.
Okay.
You can do further research on Gigi and compare this. Thank you. Yes, is a question there?
Yes, George.
Yes.
Now I'm traveling to Diani.
Yeah.
You want to tell me if I'm going to Diani, instead of me carrying things, I can just get into your hub and I do the shopping, and I'm sure I'm going to get all my products.
Yeah,
Diani.
shops within Diani.
Shops within Diani.
Yeah, we'll be able to know where you are and the sellers within that area, and we'll be able to direct you to those sellers depending on the products you have chosen. We give you control here. You look at maybe it's a bag you want to buy. You have 5 sellers who are selling bags. You look at the bag you want to buy, compare the prices, and we take you to the bag that you choose.
No, my question is on adoption of the technology.
Yeah.
What will make people choose your app against what is in the market? That's the difficult bit of it.
We plan to, first we would not like to make the subscription fees high so that we don't push away the sellers. We also want to give sellers an opportunity to market themselves. You notice that shops within some localities, they don't advertise themselves, okay? You open a shop and you wait for a customer to come. But we'll be giving you that opportunity to market your shop without having to spend much.
Last one.
Yeah.
Now, for adoption, I was thinking about the technology or the hub being friendly to all platforms, as you have indicated. Can it fit in a Kabambe?
For Kabambes, right now it's not possible. Reason being, it's targeting smartphone applications.
I'm thinking of that.
Yeah.
Because if you are talking of me going to remote areas, I'm thinking of Mwingi. Niko Mwingi sasa nimetuma kwenda kuassess hao watu huko. Actually, we land there and we suffer a lot.
And you want to locate
so it's exciting when you say it is giving us solutions. Nikituma Siaya, Siaya kuna mahali unaenda unapata hakuna duka, unapanda kwa ndabono unafika mwisho. So I'm thinking of just explore the compatibility of your app and the ordinary forms, and I think you'll be happy with it.
Yeah, the solution to that could be we come up with USSD systems. See, Kabambes have limited internet capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be able to run maps, okay? They may not have the strong processors to run all these graphics from maps, compare, and memory. But they do have a dialer.
Mm-hmm.
You can dial a code, okay? Then we send you the location of, now these are directions. From this place, follow this, go this way, so that you get to a seller. So you'll be interacting with the USSD. I want this product. Where can I get this person? Now you tell us where you are, okay? Then we'll be able to give you the most appropriate directions based on where you are.
I have two questions for you, George.
Yeah.
When you said about traveling,
yeah,
I remembered what Dr. Muthi told me, shared with me today morning, that there's a time he visited Spain, and in Spain there are not so many English-speaking people. So, and you go to the supermarket to buy something, you find it's written something different. So how do you mitigate the problem of language barrier?
Yes, we do have a feature that supports multiple languages. We intend to support 13 international languages and the ability to switch between those languages from within the application. So if in Spain their language is Spanish, most of their products will be in Spanish. Now, we intend to give you that platform. You view the product, yet it's in Spanish, but you can convert that to English.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you spoke about that the shopkeeper will be subscribing. You did not dwell into the subscription part of it, because I want to understand, will it cause a surge in the prices of shopkeepers' products?
No. What we intended to do is you subscribe based on the number of customers you would like us to direct to you. Okay? So, of course, if you give more, we'll direct more customers towards you. Okay? Because you would like more customers, we look at your inventory, how many of these products do you have? Okay? And how many customers would you like us to show you to them? So if your inventory supports and that many customers show up, we direct them to you. Yeah.
Thank you. Another question today?
George, I have two questions.
Yes?
Are you reproducing Google Maps?
No.
How different is this from Google Maps?
Well, Google Maps is a map structure system. You're able to enter locations, pins for those locations, and it's able to direct you. Google Maps is not able to direct you to a specific product. You can't search a product in Google Maps.
You said locations, like if I go to a place. So for you, you're focusing on products inside buildings.
Yeah, products inside buildings, even mobile shoppers, mobile shop owners. For example, if you have someone mentioned mobile kiosk to me or mobile food kiosk to me in the morning, so I thought that system would be good. Supposing you visited a place and you're hungry, and then you notice from our system, okay, we let you know that it's lunchtime, and maybe if you're hungry, there's a food kiosk passing by. You really want to get their services. You'll be able to see what they are selling and how much they are selling it at, and we can tell you where they are, and we direct you to them. Google Maps is not able to achieve that.
I'm concerned about security. How safe am I as a user? How do I know there's somebody tracking me?
We are not.
Where will you host this solution?
Okay, the solution is securely hosted with the Microsoft Azure, and access is based on who is logged in to the system. So we are not able to, we are not at a position to give locations of people. That is private information. We ourselves cannot look at where you are in the real time. Okay, until you now search these products, those requests come with your location. We're able to check merchants within your location, and once we give you directions and you're able to get to those merchants, we forget everything.
So how are you planning to make money?
I'm planning to make money through subscription. Those who own shops and would like people to find them will be subscribing. They will be paying a monthly fee. They can also advertise, and this one goes to the customers within that locality. So there are two income streams for me.
I'm thinking about accessibility. Like if I'm blind, for example.
Yeah.
How will your system assist me?
Yes. Nowadays, technology is inclusive, and we have something we call automation for those who are not able to see the screen. So you're able to interact the screen with your speech. Then, of course, you can hear because the computer or the phone will be interacting with you through the speech. So you don't have to like be able to see. We'll be supporting people who cannot see the screen. They can interact by voice. It's possible.
Yes, great presentation, really.
Thank you.
The e-commerce aspect of your application. For example, I'm looking for a laptop. Automatically, when I go to Instagram, I start seeing advertisements on laptop. Then there are scammers who are now in Instagram, who will post laptops and they post a phone number. But these scammers, they will not tell you to go where they are. They will tell you, send the money, we send you the product. Now, this is my challenge to you. In your system, does this mean that your system will take me to the scammer, where I can be robbed or beaten up and they take the money?
No.
Maybe if I may add to that.
Yeah.
George, nowadays, if I want a laptop, I'll just go online, see there's somebody selling it, request for it. If I need, okay, like I'm in Nairobi now, and I want to look for a shop that is selling external hard disks, I'll just Google, and it shows me this product like this. And if you need it, you can bring it to where you are. Why should I struggle installing the software?
Well, mine will help you compare prices. Okay.
Right now you can compare prices online.
Yeah, most enable you to. But then there are those goods you want to be there. Sometimes I'm trying to imagine like a packet of milk, someone delivering it to you every morning, and you're in a new place.
Saa hizi huku mashinani tunaishi, si kuna mtu ananileteana maziwa asubuhi. Kuna ng'ombe mimi niko kwangu.
But you're not a visitor.
I'm paying monthly.
Yeah?
We like that convenience. And I would want to look for that convenience in your software.
Yeah.
How do you achieve that?
So convenience is, of course, we'll be offering customizable attributes of the software. Then, where you mentioned product and safety, we do have reviews. Okay, we intend to be directing you to products which have been highly reviewed. Best reviews, best positive reviews. Then we rank them. And once you choose, we'll be able to direct you to those products.
So someone must be scammed so that give a bad review of the...
No.
So are you talking about an idea or it's a solution you've already created?
It's a solution. No, my computer happened to not work, but there is something tangible about it. So our shop owner is able to tell us their location. Of course, unless it's a mobile shop, most shops are just one place. Okay, you can update your location. Maybe when you move your shop a floor up to another building, you can update your location. Then I also have a feature where customer can search. But right now I'm working on how I'm able to associate that shopper location to the shop owner.
So who is your customer here? Is it the shop owner? Is it the normal user?
Both are, because the more normal users I have, the more I'll have shop owners subscribe. And also the more I have shop owners, the more of course my income is increasing. Yeah.
So I have my upcoming hotel.
Yeah.
In a remote place in this county. Are you telling me I can upload my products there, will it be sustainable? Because I'm looking at the common person or the upcoming businesses.
Yeah.
I've heard there's monthly subscription, you've not told us how much. Is it affordable to the common person?
Yeah, it's affordable. We'll have subscription packages based on okay, how many customers you want to view. Because again, there is the cost part of us.
Because like
yeah.
my business is so inconsistent. It is determined by the weather.
Yeah.
When the weather is good, I get more customers. When the weather is not good, I don't get customers.
Yeah.
So I'm asking, will there be some flat rate subscription whereby I'm sure I pay this and other things are my concern?
Yeah, you will have the flat rate subscriptions. The good thing with subscriptions is you are in charge. You want to choose what subscription you want to use. Then we give you our services based on that subscription. You will still be able to advertise at a low fee. We don't want to charge you much for, of course, bringing customers to you. We want our app to help customers find you, and you'll be making more profit that way. Because the more you're selling to these people, the more you're making as profit. Yeah.
So who is your target market? I'm asking this again. Because if I am a farmer, I'm growing bananas, I'm taking them to the Koromone market. Will I have time to look at this? And will these people be able to, so like today, I leave job quite late, I'm rushing to the market down there in the Koromone and I want to buy something.
Yeah.
Will your app direct me if you need bananas, go this way, if you need Duma, go this way?
Yes.
Because those are, who is your target market?
My target market are the following: visitors, tourists, people who've just come, and those who own shops. Okay, you have a business and you'd like maybe someone who is strange to that place to find you. So those are my customers, the shop owners and the shoppers, including tourists. Now, in case you are from work late and you need, of course, those others will have closed by the time you're there, but there are some others who will still be open. Now we can direct you to them. We can tell you there's a shopper who is selling bananas and they are located here. And if you want to find them maybe within some location, this is how you know them. This is their display name. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Any other question? If there's none, you can present on the last item for today.
Just admit that person is trying to do it. Okay.
So welcome to my next presentation, Timed. Now, Timed is a mobile application that will help you manage your busy schedules. The customer problem was, as people become busier, they experience a problem remembering their schedule. So day after day, you end up accumulating activities, you end up accumulating tasks, and now I'm providing you with a solution to be able to manage those tasks. And the opportunity here is, rather than sell you a physical diary, which is cumbersome, we need an app. You need an app that will help you manage your diary. So the solution is an app that remembers your diary even when you factory reset your device. An app that will be able to synchronize your diary across devices with different operating systems. An application that sends a notification to remind you of an event. And an app that associates a to-do list with each of your calendar events. Lastly, it's an app that allows you to invite colleagues to your diary. Basically timed as a diary service. We help you manage your calendar. You are able to manage tasks within your calendar. You are able to set customizable reminders for your calendar. How does it work? You log in or subscribe, add a diary event. You are able to add this diary to someone else's diary. If you have an event, you're attending more than one person, you can invite that person to your diary, and that diary will be synchronized across your devices. Add some optional to-do list for each of your events. Set a reminder for this particular event, and repeat for as many diary events as you can. So you're able to set up so many diary events without limit. You're able to invite people to your diary, and you're able to customize your diary. Testing and traction. Right now on the Play Store, we have 10 plus installs. That is, over 10 people have subscribed to our application from around the world. Who am I competing with? Google Calendar, Microsoft Calendar, and Apple Calendar. Challenge with those three is that they only run on their devices. I'm bringing you an application that is able to synchronize your calendar between all your devices. So you have a laptop at work, you have a mobile phone in your pocket, you have a computer in your home. So when you're working from home, you usually use the computers in your home. Now you end up creating events, diary events, managing your diary from our app. Now the day you enter office, you would want that diary ported to your computer. So it's just a matter of logging into your account and you'll have your diary. Our competitive advantage, we'll be able to synchronize your diary across all your devices, whether it's an Android, an iPhone, a Macintosh computer, or Windows computer. You're able to reset your device to factory settings. You're able to re-download the app and you continue from where you left. So what basically that means is, in case you uninstall that application or in case you factory reset your device, next time you re-download the application, you'll be able to pick from where you left. And lastly, you can set a reminder that will send you a notification on all of your synchronized devices, including those devices belonging to your colleagues that you invited to that particular diary. So you're in an office, and particularly this Innovation Week, members of staff and judges from across the place are joining us today. So you could have planned this event using our app, and we synchronize that across their diaries. Commercialization. How I intend to make money here is through subscription, monthly subscriptions. We'll be giving you free trials the first time you subscribe, and you'll be able to pay through a secure Google payment system. My budget, because now the application is being, the prototype is being tested by over 10 people, the budget will help me provide more resources for them. There's training. This diary is not able to get over the network to their devices every time because my online resources are limited. So the budget will help me even market this application more and more, so that more people are able to use it, and more resources are available to them from the cloud. Those who wish to download it, you can get it from the Play Store. It's called Timed. You can search Timed, or my name, George Mutwiri, and you'll be able to use the application. Lastly,
Question, George.
yeah.
Your application looks like Zoom and Teams and Google Meet, because it allows me to plan ahead. If I have a meeting, I schedule, it reminds me.
Yeah.
What is new in your innovation?
Well, this is not just for meetings, but any other appointments you may have with your, maybe you have an appointment with your doctor. You have a schedule, maybe you have a newborn, you need a vaccination schedule, we'll be able to manage that for you. You're also a lecturer, you can manage your timetable from our application. We add it to your diary. You want to be reminded about an exam that is next week, we'll be able to remind you that it's part of your diary.
And that's why I'm saying,
yeah,
I can use it, I can schedule reminders on, like right now I do it, schedule reminders on my phone, the calendar.
Yeah.
And it synchronizes with the Google Calendar of my Gmail account. And if it is a meeting on an Apple device or on Microsoft device, or Zoom or Teams, there's a way it just pops up. I'm trying to look at that different thing you've done.
Yeah.
Different from what already exists.
So you, my unique features are those apps. They don't allow you to customize your reminders. I'm able to allow you to customize your reminder. Once a reminder goes off, you can set it again. You can set a reminder that repeats even hourly. I looked at patients in hospitals, patients that are elderly. They usually have a problem remembering when to take medicine. So you can set reminders for them so they know that once that reminder goes off, it's time for their medicine. So such are the use case scenarios of my application. Yeah.
So who is your market?
My
Who are you
market
targeting?
is anyone, even anyone who is here. If you need to manage your diary better, you could join my 10 subscribers in managing your diary. If you have an event with your colleagues, you'll be able to manage that diary jointly. And mostly these are events. You also have a child whose immunization schedule you want to track. This app is good for that. You'll be able to schedule appointments with your doctor. You'll be able to schedule appointments in your office.
How are your charges then? You just said you have 10 subscribers. I'm getting interested.
Yeah. It's $2.49 month.
Per day or per month?
Monthly.
Monthly?
Yeah.
$2.59.
$2.49.
$49.
Yeah, roughly 300.
How much are you making? Because it's on Google already.
Right now, my subscribers are on trial period, so I'm not able to get the full feature of
How
how
long
much
is the
I'm
trial period?
The trial period is 1 week.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the feedback from the reviewers?
They are loving the application. Yeah, they are loving the application. I go through feedback. They love the application. Some asked me to change a few things, which I'm working on. There will be another update very soon. I also want to reinforce the part where you're able to synchronize your diary with your colleagues, okay, of course with their permission. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. An update will be available soon. And you don't have to be on Android for you to be able to use this application. We are working to make sure you're able to access it on your Apple devices and on your laptops. For those in offices, you're able to see your diary in your own computer in your office. Yeah. Organizations that do give their employees diary books, they can subscribe. We make that easy for them. Then they are able to assign an account to you for your diaries for that particular organization. Yeah.
Have you protected your idea?
I'm in the process of acquiring a copyright for both data and typed. Yeah.
You can go. Surrender on the Google. So it's at risk.
Yes, there's a question. Yeah.
Yes, I like timed theory.
Yeah.
Fellow developer, I know it has taken a lot of work to come up with it. Personally, I went ahead and I'm one of those subscribers you mentioned. I downloaded timed just to interact with it. So having created the entire thing and uploaded it to Android Studio, it's a Play Store. I know it's a point of no return for you as a developer. So your competitors are very big names. They are put there. These are people who pre-install their system. They are reminders, as Dr. Chege was saying. The programs are already pre-existing in the devices. So somehow you have to convince me as a user, stop using the reminder that I'm using and start using a reminder which you charge me 300 shillings a month. The other reminders are free. So definitely you need a competitive advantage over them. I've interacted with Timed. That was a bit difficult to observe because I only use Android. The system for the desktop is not yet there, right?
Yeah, it's not yet there. The Microsoft Store devices and Apple devices we are yet to roll out. Currently what we have is an Android platform. You're able to download it from your Android Play Store. You can use it from there. Updates will also be managed by Android Play Store. Payments, I don't manage payments. Google does that for me. Yeah.
Yes. How much money is Google eating from you, and how much are they levying for you?
Currently, they are taking away 30%.
30%.
But I could apply for 15, which I'll be doing soon.
So that they take 15%, you take 75.
Yeah.
85.
Probably, I would suggest on your market, because you have really mentioned about patients, your product, you can take it to hospitals, find a way that they can develop. You have seen the email that Microsoft sent everyone on Windows 11, where you click on that email and automatically it sets a reminder. If you can come up with such a thing for hospitals, whereby their patients, they can tell their patients, work at time for Simiako. So they just send the patients these things, they click on them. I think that is an easier way to penetrate the market probably.
Yes.
Chat.
Yeah.
If I may ask again, when it comes to accessibility, inclusivity, and at least you have Kubai here is from the medical background, you can add to that. That is, he's talking about a patient. To be a patient is somebody you can't even remember. I remember when I was sick, I could not even remember I have a phone because I'm in pain and I'm sick and I can't even remember and I'm supposed to take my drugs. So I'm just wondering, this reminder, how is it come? Is it a text? Is it a vibration? Is it an audio speaking to me, telling me take your drugs or telling me wake up? Is it an alarm? Which language does it speak if it is audio? Still again with the question of a person who is challenged visually, for example.
Yeah.
How will he know when they're supposed to do anything and maybe in their world it's dark throughout?
Yeah.
I've have you included any mobility issues and audio, and especially like what is now talking about sick people, and you mentioned also old people who forget maybe to take their diabetics drugs or pressure drugs, or to measure their pressure or something.
Yeah.
Is it able to help such people?
Yeah. If you're sick to a point you're not able to operate your phone, I would assume there's a caregiver somewhere who's taking care of you. Now that caregiver could be managing that schedule for you, your medication schedule. That caregiver could be managing that for you. Now, in case your patient was not able to operate their phone, by you cannot see what is happening, we do offer audio services. Okay, so the phone can tell you where you are right now. You'll be entering the name of the event. You'll be selecting the date of the event. You'll be selecting when that reminder will go off. Now, in terms of reminders, they will arrive to you as a notification based on how you have set your device. For example, if your device is set to vibration mode only, your device will vibrate. But in case your device is set to bring notifications with sound, the reminder will go off as a notification with sound and vibration, and it will remain at the top of the screen. It doesn't go away. Yeah.
And you know that now relates to the social impact. What social impact is your innovation having?
My social impact is, well, mothers with newborns are able to plan well. They know that on this particular date, I'll be having a meeting or an appointment. It's there in their diary. If you're a group of people, you're an office, you want to plan this innovation week, you can synchronize that diary across all the people that will be attending, students, lecturers. That will be a feature for the organization. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all.
Yes, I think that's all for today.
Okay, clap for George. I hope we've not locked out anyone. We'll so I want to bring this to a close because we, as per our schedule, we are supposed to end by 3 every day, and I appreciate all of you for coming. Tomorrow we'll start same time. We have someone who will, a guest who will give a keynote speech before we begin, and then we'll listen to the next category of presenters as per our schedule. And I think Rogers has been communicating to you the innovators, the different categories, and I know there are some who had exams, so we decided to reorganize the list to accommodate those who have exams. But of course, next time we'll have to host this during time where there are no exams or cuts, because you'll notice very few lecturers have been able to come in and out, and also quite a huge number of students have not been able to come up. You have very good ideas and innovations, and also already implemented solutions. That is very nice of you, and we want to incubate all this with you so that you take it to the next level. We don't just want to leave it the way maybe we've been doing in class. You do a project presentation and it ends there. Our intention is that we take you to the next level, that you're able to actualize your idea, to implement it, and create workable solutions. Eventually you can form a startup and you can earn money from what you've invented. We don't just want you to think of being employed. You can employ yourself, you can employ your classmates, you can employ those who are coming up first year, second years, by the time you establish. And that is our aim, to guide you through to commercialization, not just to end at this point. And I think you heard from the CEO Kenya yesterday, that is a collaboration we have, and we want to see out of these presentations amongst you who is going to participate in December in the National Innovation Week that is going to happen. So this is a build up to that. There are several innovation weeks running across all our institutions, and our aim is to find a number of you competing. So after this week, we will now embark now on following up each of you until you actualize. Those who are still on ideation phase, we work with you until you actualize your idea. Those who've already implemented the kind of questions we are asking, you look into your system and modify it. Those who are creating products, we look into ways and means of catalyzing it so that you're able to produce a very workable and real life solution. Okay, so be encouraged, and the questions we're asking you is just to clarify to us, like I told you when you were starting, this is your idea, okay? It's your idea. It is coming from you. So some of the questions we're asking, we are just asking so that we are able to understand what you're doing and see how it is applicable. Some questions are there to refine your thinking, to direct your thinking to solving a real life problem that exists, okay? So be encouraged, and let's be here again tomorrow by 9, then by 10 we kick off. Our guest will be joining us at exactly 10 so that we can kick off. And for the media team, thank you so much for good work you're doing. Today's sessions from some point has been running online, and it's good. And we need to see more of this, and we'll continue doing this every time. Our aim is that eventually we'll be having specific innovation days or weeks from specific schools, okay? So you compete amongst yourself in engineering, you come here and showcase. The other school like that. So by the time we arrive at the innovation week, you'll have already started competing from your school levels, okay? Because when you compete amongst yourself, like if it's in health, you will get the right questions from the right experts. When you compete amongst yourself from School of Computing, we will refine you from that point of view. If you compete in engineering or agriculture, food science, all those other fields, so that by the time we get to an innovation week, we have the best projects picked from the schools. Are you getting it? And we continue learning. We are continuing to learn and to look at the best ways to approach this so that we can get the best out of you and help you actualize those crazy ideas that you have in your head. So
I have something to comment, because I've seen one of the products which is in the shed is the Meru substance. I'm calling upon the students and the stakeholders who are here. Collaboration between schools and departments will be very key, because like in the Meru issue, I was in between. Actually, I participated a lot at the initial stages when we were doing the BBG and all that. With some students, I don't know whether they finished or not. There must be clear guidelines on how we interact. Because I believe, like, as in health sciences, there are so many hubs which we can develop, or ideas which you can bring into technology, and they can give solutions to so many issues affecting people in the medical field. That said and done, I'm requesting our students, because you are knowledgeable in your area of specialization, programming and all that, you can link also with students from the other end, and your product will be good. Don't enclose yourself in your area of specialization. Networking and the collaboration with other guys will add value to your work, and this can take the university to the next level. Also, don't shy off also interacting with your lecturers, because like that group of students, it's a you used to send them to me. We go to the field, we bring the products, But when it came to implementation phase, Kubai was left. So I'm proposing, don't leave the people who carry the vision, because some of us are very passionate on what we do.
Yeah.
Like now in my research line, I have a lot of medicinal extracts, which I have in my cupboard, but I have not gotten anybody to come on board so that we can process, because I'm doing other write-ups. So we need our students on board, and we need colleagues on board. So those students who are interested in extracting medicinal herbs, all those things, we have them, but the problem is that these guys are not aggressive. They're only aggressive when they are complaining. Please come to your teachers and link with them. You'll be surprised what you can do. Because if you have time, you have resources, the university is there, the innovation team is there, and I think you can move to the next level.
Very true. And that's a very strong point. Students and also colleagues who are here. Collaboration. Collaboration is very key. Okay. And I've worked with several students through the Innovation Center for a while now, and I know a number of them who I used just to give some work to do, and they took it to a higher level. And after they finished college, they are not employed. They went and started their own companies in Nairobi, and they're doing very well. Of course, in my field, in the computing field. And there are also other researches that we are doing, but they cut across other fields, okay? Like the idea, George, you've been given of health, for example, because you're thinking about reminders, but there are some fields which reminders are very important. If you don't remind somebody about something, they are left out, and maybe something catastrophic happens. So that bit of reminders and health and all means now you don't work in silos. You need now to start creating networks and working collaboratively with other people of similar mind. Even Kip and your friends, those of you who are from engineering, don't just think of robotics and Arduino and cables and switches and you end there. You don't see anything good that can come out of agriculture or anything good that can come out of health or food, okay? So try and create networks. And in our university, like I was saying yesterday during the interview outside here, we have a lot of lecturers, doctors and professors who are working on huge projects, okay? Very huge projects that has attracted a lot of grants. And they're looking for people, especially students, to be mentored as they work together on a given project. And you are the best candidates, because when I look at you, I'm seeing people who are passionate, self-driven. And these are the kind of people we look for. Hatutafuti mtu wa kusukuma, you look for somebody who is, he thinks ahead, he's self-motivated and ready to explore new grounds. And there's a lot of grant money attracted by many lecturers within here. There are times they announce for students who can join them, and very many of them receive very few responses. We are looking at you, our students. We need you to partner with lecturers who are doing good work in the area of research, so that you can participate, so that you can be mentored and molded. And by the time you graduate, you have the right skills that can make you marketable and open more doors for you in the market. Okay? Yeah, so that's the entire thing that we are here for. We're here to expose you. Yeah? We expose you to the market. If you get the momentum, we are happy when you succeed. But there are a lot of opportunities internally here for you to develop yourself career-wise, to develop yourself in your area of interest, and we are here to support you to achieve that. Okay? Yeah, so any questions from students before we end? I want you to pray for us as we end. I know you're behind the camera. Now I can stand there.
Okay, let's pray. Mighty Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus, we are grateful to you this afternoon for such a wonderful day that you have given unto us. Thank you for every idea. Thank you for every piece of knowledge. Thank you for every exposure. Thank you for every understanding we have gained today. Lord, how we pray that as we have made plans and shown our ideas and our hopes, that you grant us success. Give us work plans and ideas that can better what we are doing. We pray that, oh Lord, open door for us also as we do this. Each one of us is guarded and will be protected by God and given more knowledge and understanding to pursue our dreams. We thank you, Father. As we go and part, we are safe. In the name of Jesus, we pray and give thanks.
Amen.
Amen.
Did they bring lunch? I think. Let me check. There's lunch. It's quite late.
So guys, I'll keep communicating. If you get my communication, pass it along.